Apartheid.
Go complain to your
Apartheid.
minister.
Apartheiding.
Go come to your
They
minister
were
about pension.
they were
Tax
the main
pension.
apartheidings. And
Clear up. Go.
poor Christians and Jews who didn't have nothing to do with that whole scenario. They weren't even there to
No, they weren't protected by the Muslims.
poor Christians and Jews, bro. Poor Christians and
weren't
Jews.
under the kingdom of the Muslims,
Can
right?
we offer
Yeah.
them something?
Poor Christians and Jews.
Yeah,
We offer
exactly.
something.
They got
Alright.
something out of it.
All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it. I'm gonna wrap it here, guys. I gotta go to work.
Wrap your head too, one time.
Wrap my head, all that. But honestly, I'm gonna be on like whatever. I know it is what it is, but you guys, at least we had a productive conversation, and I do give you your props for that. So thank you for that part at least. Okay,
You against?
I'm not in the mood.
If I go
for
outside,
this.
I'm gonna go outside and try to search for him and invited him.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Jair's. Yo, Jair, what do you mean, bro? Jair said, I'm not in the mood for Zionist stuff today. I choose to have a good day. Oh, man, that's too funny. I understand that, though. I understand. I feel that way, too, sometimes. What's up, Proper?
What's up, man?
Talk to me, man.
So, what do you think the solution is between Palestine and Israel?
I think people. I'm not gonna. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I think Muslims should give up their religion. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's what I think.
Who
That's
should?
what I
Who?
think.
You said Muslims should give up their religion?
I think because I think the religion itself is based off of hatred, man. Honestly, I really do.
I agree.
You do?
Yes, sir.
Well, then turn up. Then you know what I mean. Like I love them. God bless them. There's some of them that are really cool. I think most of them are probably really cool, but I don't know. When your foundation is so offensive to everyone else, I don't see how you could ever live peacefully with the rest of the world.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
What do you? Where do you get your conclusions from? Where do you get your opinion on it?
Well, like you said, exactly like how you said it, right? It's their belief, right?
TikTok.
As long as they believe in that, it's never gonna change.
That's right. That's what I believe. TikTok. I see you in the comment section. You said show you which part, but I don't know what part you want me to show you. If you want to come up, I could definitely show you which part you. Okay, let's show TikTok what we're talking about. TikTok, are you watching? If you're still watching, type in the comment section because you said show you something. I guess we could show you, but I want to make
So
sure.
what do you usually talk about on here?
For the most part, I try to bring up basically how evil I think that Islamism. That's So from
I thought you were pro-Palestinian for a second.
Oh no. I'm saying what I'm saying with my prompt below me is saying is that 99% apartheid.
Oh, I can only see 9%.
Oh, okay, it's cut off the screen. I'm gonna try to make that smaller because some people are saying that too. But hold on a second, TikTok. Let me fix that on my screen so more people could see it. Maybe that's throwing people off.
All good though. Take care though. Okay.
Thank you, bro. You too.
Enjoy your day.
One good point is that Jesus said, by their actions you will recognize them. And I think that's a good quote. You don't see any Jews blowing themselves up anywhere, or Christians. And things happened in the past with the Crusades. Yeah.
Right.
But the book doesn't say that.
But the book doesn't say that. That's right.
Exactly. The book doesn't say that. So depends which master you follow. And these guys, the Muslims, I'm gonna say something good about Muslims. Okay, I'm gonna just be careful because normally I don't say that.
Right.
Most of them are like they're just because they were born there. They haven't read the Quran. They said they're Muslims. Since it's a gang, then they feel comfortable inside there. Haye, blah blah blah. They have good food. They come together. and they get reactive when you say something. But as a matter of fact, they haven't read the Quran, you know.
Yeah.
And when you present them, they say, well, it doesn't mean that. It's
Right.
not the right translation. It
Right.
is they try to make excuse, and that's I feel bad about them. They should just leave. And I said, come to Christ, but if you don't, at least don't have that religion, you know,
Right. Right.
at
At the
least,
very least. What's up,
yeah.
Elo?
How you doing?
Good, man. What you got going?
Hey, so I'm more so opposition in this argument, and I just looking through TikTok lives, want to debate some people. I want to give some background just to be fair with you. I am a Muslim. I'm a
All right.
Sunni, and I'm an
Okay.
Iraqi. And I heard you saying like
Man.
maybe like a minute ago about that Islam is evil, and I would like to debate
It
you on
looks that way,
how
yeah.
it's not black and white.
Yeah, so and I appreciate you being, that was probably the best introduction I've ever heard in my life. So I do appreciate that.
Thank you.
I hope we have a good conversation. Yeah, so do you want me to start or do you want to start or what?
You're the host, so whatever you want.
Okay, so my contention is that Islam, as far as I could tell, they try to erase everyone else's history. They kind of put these evil, malicious intent on everyone. They basically say, Jews corrupted their scripture for whatever reason. I don't know if it's monetary gain or whatever. Christians corrupted their scripture for different reasons too. All of your history is made up. Jesus was never crucified. Allah just made it appear that way. Then they go to, the temple is actually, it used to be a Muslim temple. It was never Jewish. All the prophets were Muslim. Jesus was a Muslim. That seems very offensive to me, just to begin with. And then going forward, it ends up with basically giving you violent commands against those people that you're offending for not accepting to be gaslighted. Basically, that's what it looks like.
Host, finish the sentence from the river to the sea.
Say that again.
Finish the
Peace is
sentence
open.
from the river to the sea.
Israel is all
Which
you will see. Yeah, that's what it says.
ask him which river and which sea. He doesn't know, but
Hold on. Let's not get off track. Go ahead.
That's the Netanyahu
Yeah.
thing. Well, it could
Hold
be
on.
named the
Hold on,
Jordan
Elo,
River
Elo,
or the
Elo, go.
Mediterranean Sea.
Yeah.
It's
Bell,
like Netanyahu.
Mr.
on,
Mr.
yes,
Bell,
sir.
Mr. Bell. Hold on. Let me finish with Elo, and then we'll move on to you. He got ahead of you this time. Go ahead, Elo.
Yep. So first, I want to just get some clarification. When you're talking about the temple, you're talking about Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Temple Mount, like how it was. I do not deny that. Every historical reference says that was a temple before, right? And I'm a Muslim telling you that.
Okay.
And I will also say that.
Where did you say you were from, Elo? What country?
So my family's from Iraq. My dad's from the United States.
Okay. Go ahead.
He's a convert.
All right.
So just to kind of give my my argument here, number one, we could maybe agree on the fact that every person's religion or religious aptitude is different. So some people follow the religion super, super closely, and some people follow the religion expansively, right? And maybe they almost deny certain parts of the Quran and stuff like that, right? So what I'm more so arguing is this point of collective responsibility. I don't think it's fair to say, hey, because the tally in Al-Q is doing certain things here, that Muslims or Islam is a religion of destruction, we'll say, right? And some examples of this are Albania, Bosnia, Indonesia, Malaysia. I think they're peaceful countries, right? On top of that, I think that to argue my black and white point, how can we sit there and say the blow themselves up point when the United States has dropped 270 million bombs on a country called Laos, and that no one has ever dropped that many bombs on a single country ever, right? I mean, we've committed the most heinous war crimes and have destroyed civilizations and countless cultures just in the United States, not to mention South America and Australia.
All right. So the part that I want to agree with you on is where you're saying that like there's a religion, the religion gets interpreted differently by different people, and that we should judge each person based on their own individual actions, not the collective, right? I want to agree with you on that. And I actually pretty much spent my whole life believing that and trying to defend that. But unfortunately, what I've come to realize is that that's not helping the situation, because since I've been alive, Islam, from what I see, is as Islam T groups and Islam T actions have just continued to get worse, and we keep trying to say that we keep trying to separate the two things, the religion from the people, but it
That's a
doesn't seem to
projection.
be. It doesn't seem to be helping the scenario. Elo that's where I'm at. So the thing is that then when I actually went to read the book, then I realized, okay, no, this is not how some people are interpreting it, and that there's some maybe a mix up here, that maybe the T's are seeing one thing and the regular Muslims are seeing a different thing. No, it's actually very clear what you're supposed to be doing, and the ones that seem to be either, I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or they're misguided or what. The ones who seem to actually be being deceptive are the ones that are quote unquote regular and peaceful. Those are the ones who actually seem to be having the wrong interpretation from what I'm reading. The
Yeah, of
T's are
course.
actually following exactly what the book says to do.
Of course. So, would you say that to be the same as the Old and New Testament?
Say that again. What?
Would you say that to be the same thing? Are like Jewish people
No,
and Christian people following the Old and New Testament to the word?
no.
They're not doing the same thing. By your
Hold
actions,
on,
you will be
hold on, Henry.
recognized.
Hold on, Henry. So no. This is another thing that constantly comes up, right? Every religion has been given their book, right? But it's like, and this is always a Muslim argument, that they want to group Christians and Jews into the same book. The Jews have their Old Testament, the Christians have their New Testament, right? And then the Muslims have their Quran. So I know that we want to like pull them up, but I think we should be very precise if we're going to be judging religion. Christians do not have to answer to anything that's going on in the Old Testament. Jesus Christ, in his own words, would say things like, he would quote the Old Testament. He would say, okay, you have heard it been said, an eye for an eye. But he's like, but I say, forgive your enemies. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. So, just to kind of go forward with this conversation. So, let's just give ourselves like a baseline. Do we want to talk about the religious aspect of this conversation, or do we want to talk about like the current political landscape of this conversation? Where
I
would you
want to
like to
talk
go?
about the religion, and that's because to me, this current situation would not be happening had it not been for the religion.
Of course, do you want to go through some like verses, and then I can tell you like what my interpretation is, and then we can go from there, or how would you
Yeah,
like to do this?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
let's go.
the first one I always go to is 929 in the Quran.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. 29.
And I'll have it up on the screen as well.
Oh, you have it up on the screen as well. Okay.
Remember people to tap on the screen. If they
Okay.
tap, there will be
Surah
more people here.
At-Tawbah. Yep.
Yeah. And I also want you to understand, like, this is a daily conversation I have with Muslims. I'm fully well aware of the whole context of what was happening and all that. So we're going to read currently this verse just to get the idea that I want to pick out. But before this and after this, we can read all that as well.
Of course.
So, according to this verse, it simply shows fight against those who do not believe in Allah. As far as I'm concerned, the sentence can end right there. That's already a terrible statement, right? But it's very specific when you keep reading it that it's talking about specifically the Christians and the Jews. He tells you it's the Christians and the Jews because they were given the scripture before Muhammad. And then the next verse goes down and tells you the reason why they're considered unbelievers, because Jews see Ezra as the son of Allah and Christians see Jesus as the son of Allah, and therefore they deserve to be destroyed. Okay? So what are your thoughts on that?
So I'll read the verse on what I have here. So it's just 10, as 19. Fight those who do not believe in Allah in the last day, nor comply with what Allah and His Messenger have forbidden, nor embrace the religion of truth from those among who are given the scripture, until they pay tax, willingly submitting, fully humble. So I'll start with the first portion. Fight those who do not believe in Allah. I think that it is I think that Allah just means God in that context. I think if we look at how Isa or Jesus said God in Aramaic, you can say it's Allah, Ilaha, those who deny the sanctity of God, right? That's what I would say for that one. Now, do I say, okay, those who fight the non believers? I would not fight the non believers, but I can't really defend that portion of the verse, right?
Yeah.
So I'll just concede to that argument.
Yeah.
Nor, sorry, I was going to go forward with the
Go ahead.
other part of the portion of the verse. So, nor comply, well, that's given, nor comply with Allah and His Messenger, have forbidden, nor embrace the religion of truth, for among those who are given the scripture. The head note says the Quran here, from wrong. Yep, Quranic verses, yep. And then until they pay tax, willing, submitting, and fully humbled. I want to go into the tax portion. What do Muslims usually tell you about like tax in Islam to tax the non-believers? Like, what's usually the argument they come up with?
So the first thing they say is that, hey, this is just a tax. Don't you pay taxes? This is a lower tax. This actually gets you exempted from fighting in the military. Zakat is more is higher than this, et cetera. I don't know. That's probably the majority
Yeah.
of the.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Henry. Yeah, go ahead.
We have in Mexico some people that come outside of your business and tell you that if you have to pay the jizya, okay? And if you don't pay it, they will just unalive your family, or they will submit you into. So it's kind of like the same thing. Is what I said is like, yeah, I understand you're a good person because obviously you speak like a nice person. But how can you follow a religion that tells you to do some things and then you said that you steal that thing?
Hold on a second, Henry. Hold on. Let him go, Henry.
Yeah, of course.
He's rationalizing fairly right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead, Elon.
I'll go back to the fight point after the tax point. So obviously Muslims give the argument, and like through our tafsir, we're told again by our scholars and by our imams that this is this is used in the context of war, which you've heard that argument before.
Yes,
And
100%. And I will say for sure is this verse, for everybody to know, this verse was revealed in the time of war, 100%.
So remember, I'm just kind of giving you my thought process and how I can justify it ethically as a Muslim individual is because I am required, and you know this already, to listen to my religious leaders and their interpretation based on the area I'm in. So I'm in the United States, my local imam, so on and so forth, right? Now, going back to the tax portion, obviously, I think I can defend it ethically. And the reason why I think I can defend it ethically is that based on what you just said, I think that Christians shouldn't have to fight in Muslim wars. I think that Christians shouldn't have to engage in any conflict that Muslims start or defend on the basis of Islam, right? But they still live in a Muslim society, and I think that if they still have to contribute in that sense.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Now, I wanna share a piece with you, Elo, that I don't think is being taught by the imams. Okay, so when we go to the previous verse, it explains why this verse was revealed. So the previous verse gives you more context of why this verse was revealed. So if you look at 28, and I want you to focus on the part that says privation, okay? And that privation means poverty, okay? So do you mind reading it here?
Yep. I can't see the screen that much, so I'm just gonna look it up and read it off my computer. I feel like I can only see like a part of it.
Okay, my bad.
So okay. It starts with O believers. So, O believers, indeed the polytheists are spiritually impure, so they should not approach the sacred mosque after this year. If you fear poverty, Allah will enrich you out of His body. If He will, surely Allah is all-knowing and all-wise. So what about this verse is
Keep going. The poverty part. Go to the privation part, the next sentence. Oh no, you already read it. What did you read?
Yeah, I read the whole thing.
I'm sorry, I blanked out because I was letting somebody else.
So I'm on Quran.com, that's my source. And if you fear poverty, Allah will enrich you out of His bounty.
Yes. So here, Allah is telling Muhammad that the polytheists are not to approach the Al Masjid Al Haram after this year, right? And the very next sentence is, if you fear, what does it say in yours? Does it say poverty or privation?
It says poverty.
Poverty, right? So why does it immediately turn into a financial, economic point of view?
Sorry, say one more time. You cut out. So
Yeah,
last sentence.
why does the context go? Why does the context immediately switch from kicking out the polytheists, right, to fearing poverty? What's the relation between those two things?
I can read based off this context. Sorry, I don't know that much about this portion about the
Okay.
verse. I do know about the next one that we read previously.
Yeah.
So like I'm reading the footnotes here just to kind of get more context. It says impure spiritually because of idolatry, not physically, and then that's within the spiritually impure portion. And then the ninth year of the prophet's migration from Mecca to Medina. That's the approach to the sacred mosque after this year. So after the ninth year of the prophet's migration, right? So Allah will enrich with bounty, we will surely Allah is all knowing, all wise. So the polytheist being spiritually impure portion, I don't know why it does the switch. So I'll just answer that. I'm going to be just completely honest with you.
Yeah.
But
That's
I can
good.
go point by point and try to ethically defend it if you'd like.
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
that.
and that's totally fine. But I at least just want to point out that it is happening, right? So because this is the part where the context of war comes in, right? So these people that are getting kicked out, I'm sure you know who they are or an idea of who they are, right? Getting kicked
Quraysh,
out.
yeah.
The Qurayshi tribe, they're basically the Arab polytheists. They're what the Quran calls as like the idolaters, essentially. Right? So they're the ones who they were at war with. Right? Muhammad was at war with them. They broke the peace treaty. They did it.
Yep.
And as a result, they got kicked out of their land. That I don't have any issues with. The problem where I start having an issue is now this is where we piece it together, and this is the part where I'm saying the Imams don't explain this, but actually we're going to show in a second. The tafsirs actually do explain this, but the Imams don't tell this to the general population. At least I think they don't, because that's why all the Muslims seem to not know this part. But he kicks out the polytheists. Now you would think though, what is that place called? Kaaba. The Kaaba was basically a trading hub at the time, right? So if you kick out the majority of the population that was there, then you would lose that trading hub. You would lose the economy around that trading hub, basically. Does that make sense? This is why when they got kicked out, their immediate thought was, well, if we kick everyone out, then where's all the money gonna come from?
Allah will impoverish you. Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I
Allah is
understand.
saying, so Allah tells them, look, if you fear poverty from kicking out all these polytheists, don't worry, because Allah will enrich you from His bounty, right? Meaning Allah is going to provide a solution. You get what I'm saying? So now we go to the very next sentence. What's the solution?
Yep.
Verse 29. Fight against those who do not believe in Allah nor in the last day, until they submit and they pay the jizya willingly.
Okay, so you're grouping them together. So okay, I see what you're saying. So like yeah, because they're one after the other.
Right.
Okay.
So what ends up happening is now, because the economy in Mecca was destroyed, what Allah is essentially saying here, He's saying, now go out of Mecca, go out of the Arabian Peninsula, go looking for Christians and Jews to fight, to subdue them, to make them pay the jizya, and this will be the recompense for losing the money that we were making in Mecca.
Yeah. So I would say that obviously I was taught by the second verse that I already told you that portion. The only way I can really go into this argument is to kind of go on offense here, because the truth is, as a Muslim, I have to defend this ethically, and I have to say, well, look, if that's Allah's word, that's the baseline.
It is what it is. I get that. I totally get
Yeah.
that.
So
I don't have
can,
see. and I want you to know something. I don't have any issue with anybody who says, "Hey, look, this is what we believe. Sorry, like we got to do it." No problem, because I don't take away, like you said earlier. America does things. You know, any we could say Russia, for example, they're doing things right now. China has ambitions of doing things. We know these things. We know these are you know, imperialist colonial entities, right? The only problem that I have is that most Muslims try to make it seem as if somehow Islam is different. That, oh, Islam just means peace and you know, you get what I'm saying? Or Islamophobia. You're being Islamophobia if you think that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to give into the Islamophobia portion. I think that Islamophobia is used as like a term to describe, like, let's say, like Arab racism or Kurdish racism or Turkish racism. I don't think Islamophobia is used in the correct context 80% of the time. And I tell my Muslim people this, I tell my friends this. I'm like, look, like, they're not being Islamophobic. They just probably just hate Muslims, right? And I guess that's the base of my argument. So so I think
Yeah, but
Islamophobia is
why
used in
do
the wrong context.
why do people not like Muslims though? That's the thing. Like, I want you to understand, the Quran says, do not take the Christians and the Jews as friends.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? It literally says they are the worst of all creatures.
The worst of all creatures.
Yeah,
And that was in
so
the second verse.
not in this. This is in another chapter, but I'm just saying, in the Quran in general, it puts enmity between all of us. The Christians and Jews didn't start this. It literally, the Quran itself tells you, it instructs you not to take us as friends.
Quran, so it does. Give me 1 second, just got the context right. Give me a second. That's the Quran. To take.
Hello, host.
Hello,
How are you?
good man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Scary
Thank
hour.
you.
Yo,
What's going on, brother? How are you, man? You good?
good man. How you doing?
I'm pretty good, but I don't think you're allowed to be my friend according to the Bible.
I'm not a Christian, so
What are you?
I'm agnostic.
Okay. Well, the Bible also says that too, just to let you know.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
And that's kind of the point I was trying to bring up, is like, why not the fear of Christians then? And by the way, I'm looking up the verse.
Christians are much more problematic than any other religion.
Okay.
You see the Western imperialism. You see what they did to the South Americans, to the Filipinos.
Yes.
You see what they did to the Chinese over
Yeah.
the
So
Opium War.
so now we're not denying it. Now we're just saying, well, you do it too, right? That's where we're at. Like, I'm
No,
okay with
we're
that.
different. We're different.
You're
We don't
different.
colonize.
You don't colonize. How did you
Yeah,
get to
like,
50? How did you get to 57 countries without colonizing?
Different ways.
Different ways, not
Yeah.
colonizing.
One of them was business and ethics. Like
It was
my
all
people.
peaceful. It was all peaceful.
My people spread Islam in Asia, like in Malaysia and Indonesia and Thailand.
Afi,
Through ethics.
can I take this?
Hold on a
Afi,
second.
can I take
Might
this?
say, let him go. Let him go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Elo.
so I just want to go based off of my Muslim brother here. That is partly true. So the North Africa, you're right. There's no defending that. We did conquer North Africa. We did a little bit into like what was it, Eastern Europe, with like Albania and Bosnia and Kosovo, right? We did a little bit into
He knows all
And
these
don't
things.
forget the slaves. Don't forget the slaves.
He knows
Yeah,
all
of
these
course, of
things.
course.
He knows all these things. He's just,
yeah,
you know,
the Arab slave trade was the longest in history. I understand that, but he's
Yeah,
also
because
right.
I was myself a Muslim. You know, I was born into a Muslim's household.
Yeah, go
Uh-huh.
ahead, Elo.
So
Go ahead.
Alhamdulillah.
Guys, let Elo talk. He's
Alhamdulillah.
being honest. He's not. I don't think he's hiding any of this, so it's fine. Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, of course. But he is right on the three most populous Muslim countries in the world, which one of them is not really a Muslim country. They just have the largest Muslim majority, and you know them already. It's Indonesia, Pakistan, in India, right? We didn't conquest those. I mean, we didn't, like, Pakistan, Indonesia. I mean, Indonesia and India. We didn't conquest those. Malaysia, we didn't conquest those. Only 20%. I think it was like 20% of the Muslim world is in Middle East, and if you add North Africa, it's about 30% of the Muslim world. Don't quote me on that. I know the 20% for Middle East, but it's not the majority in that region.
Elo, it was my
Yeah.
ancestors. My ancestors are the ones that spread Islam over there in Asia. The
Where are you
Yemenis.
from?
Yemen.
Yemen? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and also just to let you know, subhanallah, you know what's crazy? The same thing happened to me because I own a business, and one of my clients is looking into Islam because of our business ethics towards him. He's Mexican, and he was asking us questions about how we trust one another, with large sums of cash, and I told him, well,
So
we believe
just
God.
mighty slave. A quick question. I'm from Middle East. Okay. So
Where
do
you
you
from?
say that? So sorry,
Where you from?
Iraq.
Iraq. I am too. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah.
Qarn
So
al-Shaytan.
yeah. Sorry.
Some scholars say Iraq is Qarn al-Shaytan, but I'm just saying. I don't know
Okay.
if it's true.
Okay.
Okay.
Some scholars
Okay.
Najd.
saying. Okay.
Najd.
Perfect. Okay.
Guys, keep
So
going. We're getting
so
off track. We're getting off track.
I
yeah.
wonder what he got to
So
say
my
though.
question. Yeah. So my question is that when you say like the ethnic, what you about when it comes to business and trustworthy and everything. So do you saying that Arab people are trustworthy in Middle East?
Hold on 1 second.
Guys.
I had
All
a
right,
phone call.
we're getting way off track, guys. Can we please go back?
Yeah.
Like,
Keep going. Yeah. You go, host. Go
so
ahead.
Elo, we're this is what I don't want to get lost in like individual examples of how Islam may be practiced or not practiced, and some peaceful country versus a more aggressive country. That's irrelevant to me. I'm simply looking at the core doctrine, which is the Quran, and how it should be interpreted. That's it.
Of
Alhamdulillah.
course.
Very
Yeah.
good.
So
That's
no,
good.
wait, Mighty. Hold on. Let me go. I'm sorry. I think I love you, but just give me a second.
No, I
Look.
wasn't gonna say nothing. I was just agreeing with him.
Oh, I got you. So the only way I'm going to be able to defend this is to go on offense, because the reason why that verse says that is because we believe Islam is the truth, and we believe it's the most logical explanation to the world around us, right?
Right.
So ultimately, that's how we justify the expansion of the conquest. Ultimately, right? The only way I can defend this in an ethical sense in the modern age is to go on offense. That's the only way I can do that.
I
What
understand.
I'm more so here to do is not. I will never deny the Quran. You know that. What I'm more so here to do is to kind of get everyone in the panel to recognize is that the biggest victims of these radical groups are Muslims. Boko Haram, Al Shabaab, Al Q, Tali. The biggest victims of these groups are Muslims. So, and on top of that, I can give many examples.
But
Yes,
Elo,
that's a
okay.
fact.
But Elo,
Uh,
no, I don't disagree with you because I actually had a Nigerian Muslim the other day come up and tell me exactly that. He was like, "Dude, I'm the one getting unalived by Boko Haram, et cetera, et cetera." So it's true. But I have to go back to my argument. Boko Haram thinks that guy's not a real Muslim because
But
he's
they're
not because he's not doing these things.
I don't think they're the real Muslims. I can show you
That
why.
that's
Elo.
fine, but when we look at the verse, you just said you can't defend this. So now you're splitting away from the fold of Islam.
Not
Yeah,
really.
of course.
Not really. Because some of
Fuck.
these groups.
Go ahead.
Some of
mighty
these,
slave,
yeah.
you literally did it because you
Yo,
said that some of the scholar they
Okay.
think that we Iraqi people are literally
Not Iraqi
basically
people.
devils.
Not Iraqi people.
What like
Not
Iraq as a
Iraqi
country,
people.
right?
Let him
Not
answer.
Iraq
Iraqi
as a,
Let him answer. Let him answer, guys. Let him
Yeah.
answer.
So the extremist groups basically, we
yeah.
have to know that some of them are actually founded by Western nations to destabilize the Middle East.
Oh
For
my
example,
God.
if you look at for
Bro,
example,
mighty, stop. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Based off of this verse, how are they wrong? Let's go over the facts again, okay? This verse was revealed at the time when the Arab, what was the tribe? Quraysh was getting
Quraysh.
kicked. They were getting kicked out of Mecca.
okay,
So Muhammad had a problem with those guys who were
Oh, yeah, of course he
majority Arab polytheists.
pagans, yeah,
Pagans. No problem. They broke a peace treaty, whatever. Maybe they deserve it. I don't care.
They do, yeah.
The very next sentence says, okay, now that they got kicked out, the people who we were having a war with,
Yeah.
now go other places and fight Christians and Jews.
Doesn't say that.
Okay.
It's called Islam.
Okay.
Called
Now, now I want you to explain to me with this verse how it does not say that, because this is where we're gonna get the disconnect. This is
Are you
where
talking about
this is where Boko Haram is gonna say you're not a real Muslim, and you're gonna say you're not a real Muslim. So we have to
He's
understand
talking
it.
about.
Let me
He's talking about
respond to
Toba.
Huh? So
He's
the
talking about
Tawbah.
At-Tawbah, to a
Yeah,
Tawbah, yeah.
yeah. What does the scholar say about that? What's the interpretation?
Which part do you, about what? About what exactly?
No, about you saying that we are supposed to go fight Jews and Christians. Where does it say
Okay.
that?
The scholars agree with me. If you want, we can read the tafsir.
Yeah, go ahead. We could go to the most basic tafsir.
Okay.
Ibn Kathir. He's the most basic.
That's
Go.
where we're going. That's where we're going. But
He's
first,
like
I
the
want.
simplify.
But first, I want to make sure that before we can go to the verse, because we have to back this up with the Quran. 28 is addressing the polytheists, right? Mighty.
Well, I don't know. Well, I have to read the. I want you to read the verse because I don't know which.
It is
Okay.
addressing
Okay. Okay. Look at 28. Look at 28. O you who have believed, indeed the polytheists are unclean, so do not let them approach Masjid Haram after this year.
Perfect.
Right?
true.
Then it transitions, fight against those who do not believe, and who are these? It says, from those that were given the scripture, meaning the people of the book.
Okay. It
So-
says from. Okay. Well, let's read the tafsir. What does it
Okay,
say?
so what I'm trying, before we get to the tafsirs, I'm trying to help you understand that it's transitioning from the polytheists to the people of the book for no apparent reason.
Though there isn't a apparent reason, that's
What is
why
it?
there's context. We need to go see what
Okay.
the scholars say about it.
Okay,
Let's read.
were the people of the book the ones fighting the war against Muhammad?
Brother, can we read
Yay or
where
nay? Yes or no?
You said you're gonna bring Ibn Kathir. Can we see?
We are, but I just want to get your understanding first.
Okay, what's your question?
Were the people of the book were the ones fighting against Muhammad in Mecca?
No,
No,
it was the pagans.
it was the pagans.
Yes.
So there is no scenario that could be like, let's say from a secular point of view, that could be justified for him
What do you-
fighting them, or for the Quran telling him
The
to
people-
fight them.
You mean the people of the book?
Yeah,
It depends who you're referring to, the Christians or the Jews.
I'm specifically talking about the Christians and Jews at that time,
Yes,
when this
there were-
verse was
there
being
were-
revealed.
When was it revealed? Was it in Mecca or Medina?
Oh no, that's I don't know exactly, but I
Okay, we
know
need to
I don't
know.
know I don't know if it was right before he went back, because I know he went to Medina, he gathered his troops there, and then he went
Yes.
back, and then they broke a peace treaty, so he went back or whatever. But
Yes, so it
I don't
was
know what
probably
town
Medina
he was
verse.
in, huh?
No, not about the time. Not about the town. Sorry, it's in regards to the time frame. So there were verses that were revealed for 20 years in Mecca, and then the later 20 years was in Medina. So even if you went back to Mecca,
Oh yeah,
physically-
this is definitely considered a Medina verse if you want to put
perfect.
it that way. Yeah,
so if
yeah,
it was
yeah.
a Medina verse, there was Ahlul Kitab. Yes, there was Jews.
I'm
trying to
not
fight the Muslims.
I'm not even disputing that. But what I'm saying
Okay.
is, let's just go to the tafsir, bro. Let's go to tafsir.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's go to tafsir. All right, where am I? This is those who do not forbid God. Okay, is the right one? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, and the part that I was trying to point out to you that I did show to Elo earlier was that, and Elo agreed with me, was that the jizya was taken as a substitute to replace the income they had lost from kicking out the polytheists from Mecca. Do you agree with that?
I don't know about that. I have to look into that.
Okay, let's just read it here.
Sure.
I always skip this part because it's such a big tafsir. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I'm on the right one. Hold on a second. Okay, yep. I'm gonna get the sacred. Okay, here we go. So here the tafsir is explaining the context of the verse, and it basically says, and if you fear poverty, Allah will enrich you out of his bounty. Muhammad bin Ishaq commented, the people said, our markets will be closed, our commerce disrupted, and what we earned will vanish. You see that part, Mighty?
What is that? Yeah, go ahead.
So
What's the reference?
this is why we need to go back to the verse. I have to take you to the verse real quick.
Sorry,
I'm
it's kind of hard to read your screen. Is there any way we can format because like we're only getting like part of
I've tried
I can-
to do this. I don't know how to change it, to be honest with you. But
Yeah, fair.
just follow with me on verse 28. If you could go, guys could go there. 28. Elo, I have to show him the part that I showed you earlier, basically, because he missed that part. So Mighty, on verse 28, it says, "O you who have believed, indeed the polytheists are unclean, so let them not approach El Masjid Al Haram after this year." Right? So this is when the polytheists got kicked out of Mecca. The very next sentence says, "If you fear poverty, Allah will enrich you from His bounty.
Okay.
So when the polytheists got kicked out of Mecca, the Arabs were fearing poverty from that scenario. Okay, that's what Ibn Kathir is trying to explain when we read the Tafsir. So let's go back to the Tafsir.
Okay.
So back to the Tafsir. Right here. So right here. And if you fear poverty, Allah will enrich you out of His bounty.
Oh, yeah.
He explains here. Muhammad bin Ishaq commented, "The people said our markets will be closed, our commerce will be disrupted, and what we earned will vanish."
Who's saying
So-
this? The polytheist?
No, the Muslims, because the Muslims were saying if we kick the polytheists out of Mecca, then the whole trading economy is going to disappear, because they were merchants.
Okay.
So when they kicked out the majority of the population, they were going to lose money.
Okay.
So now let's keep going. So what's the solution to that?
Okay.
So he says, so Allah revealed this verse, right? And if you fear poverty, Allah will enrich you out of His bounty from other resources, right?
Okay.
Then keep going. He says, if he wills, until and feel themselves subdued. So he gives you
Okay.
basically from 28 to 29. He says, this ayah means this will be your compensation for the closed markets that you feared would result. Therefore, Allah compensated them from the losses that they incurred because they severed ties with the idolaters
Okay.
by the jizya that they earned from the people of the book.
Okay. What's your point?
So now think about this.
Yeah.
Everyone gets kicked out of Mecca, right?
Okay.
No economy. No economy, no idolaters, no Christians, no Jews. The Arabs are like, where the hell are we going to get money from? Right?
Okay.
Allah says, your new money is going to come from going out and fighting Christians and Jews.
Okay. Jizya is a form of income. There's no problem with that.
I understand that. That's not the argument.
So
Okay?
wait,
I
from
don't understand your issue, bro.
so
Yeah.
the verse says from my bounty.
Huh?
Like the verse, sorry, I'm kind of confused because the verse says from my bounty, like Allah will enrich you from His bounty.
Yeah, so the question is either Allah's going to make money rain from the sky
No. it's not what it's supposed to.
or
I mean,
he's going to
oil.
give.
Would you say oil is a bounty from God? Finding oil underground.
Sure.
Okay. Allah could do that.
Now, Mighty, again, remember, you guys made me go to the tafsir because we both wanted to understand what was the scenario from the scholarly point of view. The scholars are saying this, not me.
You're saying the scholar said that jizya came after the.
He
pagans.
literally
Wait,
just said.
Scary. 1 second. Let me understand. Are you saying that? Where did Ibn Kathir say that jizya
All right.
came after the scholars? Sorry, it came after the pagans were kicked out of Mecca. Where does it say that?
Okay, let's read it again.
Thank you, bro.
So he says, Allah will enrich you out of His bounty. Muhammad bin Hishaq commented, the people said our markets will be closed, our commerce disrupted. What would be how could their markets get closed and commerce get disrupted? From what?
Yeah, we have to look into that.
You have to look into it.
Of course, it's historical points that require context and understanding of what occurred at that time.
So we can't just understand that Mecca was a trading hub. Muhammad kicked everyone out, and that would close the market. That's not very.
Not everyone got kicked out, because when the Muslims went back and conquered it, the Prophet ﷺ even said not to unalive the pagans.
This is not brother. You're mixing up two different things. When I say that everyone got kicked out, I mean exactly what you just said. That he came back. They were supposed to fight, but the Meccans, I guess, were scared, and they gave up peacefully. But they still had to leave.
No, they didn't, brother, because there were people that were still non-Muslims living there, which is why the Prophet said, do not unalive them.
So how did the markets get closed?
Yeah, we'll have to look into that. Let's figure out how that happened. But you're saying that, but that's not the point, Scary. Can I
Go, bro.
Let me know when you're done.
What's
Let me know
up,
you're done.
bro? What's up?
So Scary, I want to know where it says, where Ibn Kathir said that the form of income where Allah says He's going to enrich you from His
Okay,
bounty
okay, that part. Okay, let's
is
keep reading.
jizya. Thank
We
you.
just read it, but let's read it again. So,
Yeah, I
so
want to know where
here.
He specifically said that because you said
I'ma
that
show
Ibn
you.
Kathir said that.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you. And then he even said Ibn Abbas said it as well. So let's keep reading. So the people said our markets will be closed, our commerce disrupted, and what we earned will vanish. It will disappear. So Allah revealed this verse. I don't know what it says in Arabic, but I'm guessing it's 28 and 29. And it says, "And if you fear poverty, Allah will enrich you out of His bounty." So this is the beginning of what He revealed. He will enrich you from other resources, right? Then He says, until if He wills, again Arabic, and then He says, and feel themselves subdued. So basically, He requotes 28 and 29 for them, and He says, this ayah means this will be your compensation for the closed markets that you feared would result. Therefore, Allah compensated them for the losses that they incurred from severing ties with idolaters by the jizya.
Oh, it says by the jizya. Can you just read that?
Yes.
By the jizya, they earned from the people of the book.
Yes, they earn from the people. And then he says similar statements were reported from Ibn Abbas, Mujahid, Ikramah. I don't know the other people's names.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Still, I mean, regardless, thank you for showing me that. You know,
Yeah.
because I never read the tafsir on this specific verse.
Yeah, no
But
problem.
I don't. Yeah, but I still don't see a problem with it. What's the issue with it?
Look, like I said, if as long as everybody's on the same page that we're fighting against each other, no problem. We're all adults
Well, we're not
here.
necessarily fighting against each other.
That's what it's saying. It's
because-
literally saying that.
Okay. So can I ask you a question then? And there's another verse that says that fight the disbelievers that come and try to fight you, but if they incline to peace,
Let's
peace
read
is
that
better.
one. Let's go there.
Yeah. Let's
go
see
there.
the tafsir on that as well.
Let's go there. So let's
That
go
would be
that
nice.
one. So this is the part I want, and I'm sure Muslims understand this, but maybe we need to get a reminder sometimes.
Hey, sorry. I just
Yeah.
to jump in right quick. I do gotta go, but I appreciate you having me.
Yeah.
If you do have a more
I actually have to get
geopolitical,
going too. But
Well,
I was hoping you would stay and take over, but 'cause
well,
I gotta
I
go to
was-
a wedding.
Go ahead. Do
okay,
your thing,
but
guys. Honestly,
I don't want to end this conversation. I do want to come back. I'm gonna drop you a follow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
and
follow him too.
Hopefully,
I'll
we
be
can
back
get
in a
to the geopolitical portion of the conversation.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'll be off in like 2 hours. So I
Gary, are you
appreciate
gonna be
having
on all
me.
day?
Not
definitely
today. I
wanna
gotta
come
go to
back.
work in a little bit, but
Okay.
I'm probably gonna be on maybe another 30 minutes.
Oh,
to an
bring
hour.
up Chef Clay. Bring up Chef Clay.
He's up. He's
Let him
up.
take
I
my spot.
talk to him all the
Okay,
time.
cool. All right, cool.
All
cool,
right,
cool. Chef Clay,
I'll
take
talk
my
to you
spot.
guys soon, man. But honestly, I appreciate your conversation. You guys are more than reasonable. So
Yeah, bring up
was
that
great.
verse to Chef Clay.
I will.
Bring it up to Chef Clay. I want to hear Chef Clay.
I will.
speaking.
Don't worry. I will. Thank you though. I want to say thank you though, for real. Who's up now? Who wants to go next?
Yo, how's it going, guys?
What's up, man?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear.
Yeah, what's the deal? How's it going?
Chef Clay. Chef Clay in the comments now, bring me up, I'll cook. Why do you want to cook, Chef Clay? Why can't you say, bring me up, I want to enlighten, the world and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cook. It entails that. You know what I'm saying?
It tells that. Okay. Go ahead, Chef Clay. Where you at? Do you want me to start or do you want to, where we left off?
Where's the point of contention? Where are we at right now?
So I'm guessing okay, so we were at so my whole thing from the beginning was I support the Christian and the American-Israeli alliance, basically. And then I was making the claim that as much as Muslims want to talk about apartheid, right, like what's happening in Palestine or whatever, they support apartheid based off of what we can read from the Quran. That's the argument. Because the Quran actually gives you instructions for apartheid, for you doing apartheid to other people, to non-believers.
Well, how do you define apartheid?
So apartheid means that under one system, like let's say the United States or whatever, let's say all the citizens, you would have different rules or different laws for different groups within that one system.
Yeah, that's true.
So the Quran actually advocates for you doing that as a Muslim. The Quran says you should also do that to other people. So it tells you to literally apartheid other people. But then if somebody apartheids you, you're like, oh my God, we're getting apartheid. This is so sad. Like this is. But how can you say that when you yourself actually have to support apartheid based on the Quran? That's where the argument is today.
Well, I don't think there's any government or worldview that treats everybody under their control the same. Like, even in the United States, citizens and non-citizens.
I don't.
they have
Yeah,
different-
and I don't have a problem with
based
that.
on that, based on that logic, the Bible justifies slavery. Should I enslave Christians?
I don't. Again, so
Wait,
my-
that's the lot. You said
I'm agree.
Let's say I grant it to you.
Yeah. Look,
Let's say
I'm
the,
trying to.
let's say the
this is what-
Quran allows apartheid.
Look,
Does that mean we should?
I'm not. Look, I want you to understand, guys. I'm not coming from the point where I'm saying that your book is worse than another book or none of that. I'm simply trying to get to the truth where Muslims need to just
No, I'm trying to show you how ridiculous that is.
No, I'm not saying that it's ridiculous. I think honestly the Quran is actually kind of smart for doing this. Like this is
No,
this is
I'm
a
saying
good-
how
this
ridiculous
is a-
it is to apply international standards in 2026 based on any of these books. Because, for example, if we were going to use that logic, just like the example I gave, we would be able to enslave Christians because their Bible allows for slavery in certain cases.
Okay. Now,
What's the difference between the two examples?
bro, I really want you to. I need you to get this point. I am not trying to morally destroy Islam. I'm not trying to. That's
No,
not
that's
my
not the argument I'm
argument.
making either. I'm not defending it. I'm not defending it to you. I'm showing the reason I mentioned comparing that to 2026 international law is to show you it's ridiculous to apply that standard on either side. We don't legislate based on the Bible or the Torah or the Quran for a reason. All these Muslim countries you talk about are UN member states. They all signed on to the Security Council. They all signed on to provisions set by the UN. They're all signatories to the Geneva Convention. So they are following certain international law orders that don't align with any of these books.
Khalid,
but I would agree with you.
if
That's
you
not
if you
teaching.
what like if you're just telling me, hey, I don't follow the Quran, good, I applaud you.
That's
Okay?
a false dichotomy. You can't
Round of
just, like-
applause for you not following the Quran. My point is, as far as I know, Muslims are supposed to follow the Quran. That's what I know. Now, whether they do it or how it's practiced
aren't white people
among
supposed to follow the Bible? Why aren't they enslaving people?
that's why I'm trying to explain to you. If you want me
I'm
to
just
say
saying
Christians
it's
are evil,
2026 people modernize. Like it's not. And
What
I'm
do you
not,
want-
I'm not well versed enough on Islam to argue. I'm not even sure if you're representing it correctly. Clay sounds like he knows more about Islam than I would. I'm using this argument. I'm granting you this argument just for the sake of argument, saying let's say everything you're saying is true, which it probably isn't. To be honest, we have to be, scholars on this thing, in my opinion, to talk about it. I don't like to talk about things I don't know about.
Which
But
is
for the sake
why
of argument, if I granted you everything, I think it's still.
which is why I always read the scholars. That's part of this argument is I pull up your scholars, which
For
say
sure,
what
but
I'm
don't
trying
you
to
agree
explain.
that it's irrelevant?
How?
Because I just explained how these Muslim countries you talk about are signatories to the Geneva
No.
Convention. That's its own rules.
What I see
The
is
UN
that
member states.
No.
Scary. Hello. How are you?
Okay, Khalid, are you okay, bro? Like, I'm okay, but I'm also in the middle of a conversation for you to be asking me how I'm doing in the middle of my sentence.
Sorry about that. I was just trying to say that I'm here.
I, you know what? And I see you, Khalid. The only thing I'm trying to say to you, bro, is give up, then condemn these words. Then you get what I'm saying? If that's how,
I
if you're-
don't condemn people's books because all
Okay.
these books say things that aren't aligned with modern
okay,
society.
Jair's, then
The Torah
just,
says
if
odd
you don't,
things,
then
the
if
Old
you're
Testament
not
says
okay,
wild things.
then if you're not gonna condemn it, then just hey, what do you want me to tell you, bro? Then you gotta defend it. Either condemn it or defend it. You can't have it both
No.
ways.
You
Okay,
can.
then,
I can
then what do you
respect
want me to
people's
tell you?
beliefs as long as they're not
Okay,
enforcing these
so
beliefs on me,
bro,
I'm
so
totally
you're
just
telling me that you want to respect the fact that other people can disrespect your belief? That's what you want to defend?
No, I'm saying as long as they don't enforce
Because
these
what
beliefs on me.
they're literally saying, what the book is literally saying is fight those who do not believe what you believe. That is what the verse is saying, and you're telling me that I should respect that. Does that make
as they're
sense
not
to you?
actually fighting me and
All right,
literally persecuting me.
All right,
you,
all right,
you
all right.
get what I'm saying?
All right, Jairus, leave me alone, bro. All right, who wants to talk next? I can't. This is just.
Proposal.
Who's next, guys?
Gary, why'd you kick him out, bro? What's going on?
Yeah, he's actually because he's not even Muslim, so it's irrelevant.
I think he was a Muslim. Yeah, I'm
He's not.
Muslim as well, though.
I've spoken to him many times. Go ahead. Who's Muslim?
I'm Muslim. Yeah, Khalid. Yeah.
Yeah, no. What he's saying is this. What he's saying is this. He's like, look, who cares what it says? Who cares what they believe because they're not actually doing it. That's his whole point. Why would I argue with that? Who's next?
So
Can you
I would agree
fill
with
me in
you.
on the context of what you because
Let
I
me just
chimed
respond
in
real quick.
mid convo between you and him.
Let me respond right quick. So I agree that Islam teaches that we're separated according to our religion. So the first priority would be Muslims and then Jews and Christians, obviously. Yeah.
The verse what? Say that again one more time. The last part.
Like it will be prioritized towards the benefit of Muslims, obviously, and then Jews and Christians. But we do believe it's a fair system. It's not equal, but it is fair. Basically.
Yeah, but we're not gonna say like that. That's a very nice way of putting it. It says to fight the Jews and the Christians. It's not just prioritizing the Muslims.
Yeah,
Harry,
yeah, the ones that don't accept Islam, they pay jizya. If you don't pay jizya, that means
Okay. Okay, so as far as we know, Khaled, that's all the Jews and the Christians, right?
So, Scary, can I ask you? So,
Go ahead, yes, sir.
you're saying, sorry if I can say something. You're saying verse where it says fight the non-believers. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the context of that, or you
We
saying that it's
we just spent an hour
is
with
it a
two.
blanket statement on any
Yes, it
non-believer?
is, and I will actually show you how it's any non-believer. Yes, I can show you. That.
Okay, can you? Okay, that's why I said I jumped in halfway. I didn't see that.
You want to see it?
Yeah, I would say that it's not a blanket statement.
All right, let's read what the scholars are saying. I think. Let me see if that's in this one or the other one. But hold on.
Okay, while you look that up, I want to just say a few things, right?
No, don't do that. Why would you do that?
Go ahead.
Okay, here we go. I think it's this one. God damn this.
I would like to quickly say hello, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Hello.
So, Scary, are you saying that Muslims are commanded to just add anybody, like, offline anybody, or?
So I'm gonna find it right now, but yes, your
No.
scholars actually
Find
say
that,
the scholar
yeah.
actually says the scholar in this verse says
Mm-hmm.
he says even though the verse says specifically Christians and Jews, it actually applies to all non-believers because they all non-believe in the same way.
Is it speaking to a context of a certain situation at that time, or
No, it isn't.
No. Okay, according to you, or according to
Wait, that's what you want to talk about? Okay, hold on. This is Ibn Kathir.
No, according to the scholars, or
yeah, either one. Yeah, Ibn Kathir. Huh? And actually, Ibn Kathir and Ibn Abbas.
okay. Can you show me which hadith, or is it a hadith, or?
No, this is Quran 9:29 and 20. With 29,
it's
28.
Quran. Oh,
yeah, everything.
Okay. So again, you're saying that the Quran, that verse is saying offline anybody at any time.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is why I would disagree with you. I don't think you understand.
Let's go back to the verse then, because I had this conversation with another group of Muslims, but let's do it again with you right now.
Fair enough. I'm not saying you haven't. Yeah.
I got you. Okay. So we all know that Quran chapter 9 was revealed in the. Can you? Hey, Irene, or who's talking right now? Irene, can you mute yourself? I don't know why I can't mute him.
Oh, when it's fun, empty bro. I'm
gonna drop him. I'm sorry. Oh, it wasn't even him. Who's being loud, bro? My bad. I dropped the word.
Everybody's muted. It was him.
All right, my bad. All right. So, Irene, if you want to come back up, I dropped you by mistake. All right. Everyone knows that chapter 9 was revealed during a time of war, right? This is the favorite thing that everybody likes to say, time of war, right, guys? We all agree, time of war. Okay. Who was the war against? Can we agree?
The non-believers, yes.
Which non-believers, though?
The polytheists.
The polytheists. Now,
yeah,
in the terms of the pagans, so in the terms of the Quran, using Quran definitions, are the polytheists the same as the people of the book?
So, okay, Scary, can I ask you a question, right? So, when the Quran says the non-believers, i.e. the polytheists, i.e. the pagans, i.e. the non-believers, whatever you want to call it, were they not a specific group of individuals?
Absolutely.
Or were they every single, because you
No, wait. Look.
Hold on. I think you and I both know that there was many polytheists around the world at that time, right?
Yes.
So was it all of them, or was it that specific group in Mecca?
No, you're right. So it was a specific group in Mecca, the Quraysh.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
Okay. So
they were
let's
at war
read.
with them.
So let's read about the Quraysh part first. Okay. Let's talk about the peace treaty, everything. Okay. How we got here.
And you're reading, so I can read along with you. Sorry, what was it again? Quran chapter 9, right? Verse 6,
Right now I'm on verse 4.
verse 4. Okay.
Because there's a lot of things to point out in this chapter that are very contradictory to what I hear most Muslims saying. Okay,
Fair
so
enough. Fair enough. Go ahead.
so 9 verse 4. Yeah, so here it says, as for those who have honored the treaty that you made with them, and who have not supported anyone against you, fulfill your agreement with them forever. Does it say that?
Go outside. Go outside. Yeah, let's go. Come on. Let's go outside.
Henry, can you mute yourself?
I know. Yeah.
Guys, does it say fulfill
Yeah.
fulfill your agreement with them forever? What does it say?
End of its term.
Until the end of his term. So now this is the polytheists who
That
did
is
not
forever.
right. This is the polytheists who did not break the peace treaty, right?
Oh, of course.
Because it says, as for those who have honored the treaty, it says, fulfill your agreement with them until the end of the term.
Yeah.
That means, this is where I'm going to put my opinion, and you tell me if I'm wrong. That means Muhammad would have to have kicked them out anyway, eventually, whether they broke the peace treaty or not.
Sorry. How do you get to there? Where if they kept their treaty, how would he would? You're saying he would have broke the treaty?
Yes, not. I mean, so according to this, it says to the end of the term. So the treaty
I know
was
it says. Yeah, sorry.
So he wouldn't have to. He wouldn't have had to have broke.
Polytheists who honored every term of their treaty
Yep.
with you,
Yep.
have not supported any enemy against you. Honor your treaty.
Until.
Yeah, with them until the end of its term.
Yeah, so he wouldn't have to break it, but eventually, when the term ended, he would have kicked them out anyway, because you have to understand.
Again, I think you're adding to it, right? Well, let's just read what it says. This is until its end of its term.
And I get that, but I'm trying to make sure: do we agree? Do we disagree? Because
I agree with you, but I think
okay, but look, let's go
on your adding, right?
I agree with you. I'm putting my understanding, right? But we're gonna get there.
Well, we can, because I can put my understanding.
No, I'm with you.
Let's just look at what it says, right?
I'm with you. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when I read verse 28, he says that the reason why.
Okay.
Hold on, we're going back. We're going to go back there, but just to make this quick point, in verse 28, he says that they got kicked out because they are unclean, not because they broke a peace treaty. You get what I'm saying? So it says here.
Well, sorry about that, but there wasn't a treaty at that time, so you're going back. Now you were talking about a treaty here, and then you're going back to where
Khaled, just hear me out. Hear me out. Look what he's saying.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Go ahead.
O you who have believed, indeed the polytheists are unclean, so do not let them approach al Masjid al Haram after this year.
Yeah,
so
fair enough. I agree with that.
So when you think about it, even to this day, nobody who's not a Muslim is not allowed to go to a masjid.
Where do you go from that to unalive them, or?
Let's go back. Let's go back. I just want to make a point. Anyway, the peace treaty.
With respect, brother, I think you're jumping. Right now, you're going to different verses, which are talking about different things, right?
Sure. Let's go back. Let's go back to verse 4. Let's go back to verse 4.
Okay.
Can I say something? Just to introduce a little bit.
What's up, Henry?
All the talking that they're doing are talking like the conquerors, you know.
Henry, just give it a relax, Henry. They're being reasonable. There's no reason to throw gasoline on the fire right now. Okay.
I'm not trying. I'm just saying. Okay.
I got you.
I'm being listening.
I got you. Okay. so how I read it is that there was a treaty until it ended. Anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Next verse, right? Next verse. Indeed, Allah loves who is righteous. Okay, cool. Next verse, verse 5. And when the inviolable months have passed, right? What is does anybody know the inviolable months? Or this translation says when the 4 forbidden months are over. Does anybody know?
Can I ask you a question though before we move on?
Sure.
Before
we move on to the next verse, right? I think the other verse was talking about something. Do you disagree with that? What it was saying that do you think that Muhammad peace be upon him broke the treaty
I don't think
or
I don't think he broke it at all. Honestly, I don't
yeah?
have too much problems with what he did so far. I really
Okay,
don't have
so
any
I
issues.
don't understand then why you brought it up.
The
With
only
respect,
reason, the
'cause that's
only
why I said I
reason,
jumped in
I
late.
got
I
you,
jumped
I
in
got
late,
you,
right?
I got you. Right. The only reason why I bring it up is because Muslims always bring up the peace treaty. But from how I'm reading
Muslims.
it,
Not well, there's no Z there. Muslims.
huh?
You said Muslims, right? Muslim with the S, not a Z.
Brother, can you calm down, bro? Like,
Yeah, no, sorry,
no,
no, sorry. Yeah, I'm
brother.
scared. I'm not even trying to do that to you.
Yeah,
Trust me.
this is man. I'm not trying to
I
be
don't want, I
offensive
don't want
or
people to
nothing.
say you were disingenuous. You know what I
I'm
mean?
not trying to be everybody. I think everybody knows when I say Muslims, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. That's just
Well,
how I say
I
it.
think you're a
Man,
very intelligent guy,
okay,
and I know
okay.
you know the
And I
difference
know
between
you're a
S
very
and Z,
intelligent
right?
guy, and I think you can forgive minor offenses, okay?
No,
So,
100%. Yeah.
okay. So, only reason why I bring it up is because when Muslims say
Thank you, brother.
that there was a peace treaty, to me, it's kind of irrelevant that there was a peace treaty because, as
Yeah.
far as my understanding, idolaters cannot enter the Masjid Haram, regardless if there was a peace treaty or not. So, regardless, they would have gotten kicked out, no matter what.
Well,
Yeah.
that doesn't follow because the peace treaty was between the Muslims who were in Medina and the Meccans who were already in the Haram. They weren't forbidden from entering the Haram until after Islam took over. The peace treaty was 10 years.
Clay,
Between two foreign
Clay,
powers.
but this verse is addressing when the Muslims took over Mecca.
Yeah.
No,
Scary. Can I
Yes,
ask
it
you,
is. Hold on. Can somebody explain to Clay because he thinks this is about something else? This verse is talking about
no,
when the
yeah, go ahead.
Muslims came back to Mecca from Medina to
When they
take
took
over
over,
Mecca.
or when they came
the
back?
Treaty of Hudaybiyah.
Huh?
It's talking about the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, where the Muslims and the polytheists agreed for 10 years to stop hostilities.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was a trial from the polytheists who basically attacked the Muslims. And then that's why this verse says those who fought against you or broke the treaty, fight them. But those
Yes.
who are that were not involved, keep your
Yes.
treaty with them.
Yes.
Yeah,
So this is
they're still not
about
in Mecca. They haven't taken over Mecca yet. Once Mecca's
right.
taken over, there's no such thing as polytheist armies. They got defeated.
Right. But my point is this is addressing that scenario, right? Where he's literally telling Muhammad, this is what you're about to do. We're about to
But
take
they
over
have not
Mecca.
taken over Mecca. No.
No.
Mecca was taken over without fighting.
Huh?
There was no fight to take over Mecca.
I never said there was a fight.
Yeah, so when it says fight against
Clay,
those
Clay,
who broke
Clay,
the
Clay,
treaty-
I'm sorry. You're derailing the conversation too much. I'm sorry. You maybe you're just
Scary.
not. You don't know your Islam apparently.
Scary. To be
Go
fair,
ahead.
I don't think you should have kicked him out. But what he said was that there was no conquest of Mecca.
I know that though, but
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
that's
you know
also
that, yeah.
yes, but
That's
that's
what he
also
said,
irrelevant.
though, you know?
I know, but that's also irrelevant because
Oh,
he's
okay.
trying to make
Why-
it
why did you-
sound
Why did you kick him out then?
because he's trying to make it sound as a that makes it beautiful. Does that make it beautiful that they didn't have to fight?
Well, fair
Then
enough,
what's
go
the
ahead,
point
bro.
of saying that?
Well, I think he was trying to correct you that.
But
I'm
I
not
never
saying that
said
you need
fight.
to-
I never
thank
once
you for
said
bringing
fight.
him back. I think he can explain what he was trying to say. That's.
I
instead
know
of
what he's trying to say
arguing that.
because they like I hear.
Well, let him say it. Let him say it.
It's because you said that this verse is talking about the Muslims being in power and forbidding the pagans from ever entering Mecca. When the Muslims took over Mecca, there was no pagan army. There was nobody to be forbidden. The pagans were not there. There's no treaty. I understand.
Why? Okay, why weren't they there, Chef?
I'm pretty.
Very good question.
Why weren't? Hold on, let him answer. Let him answer. Why weren't they there, Chef?
So when the Muslims conquered Mecca, right, which is after these verses, not before. After, then the polytheists had a choice to either leave or accept Islam, or the vast majority accepted Islam.
Do you guys see why this is irrelevant? Can we all agree now that this is?
Hey, wait, let me just say one thing. This is besides this topic, obviously I know what you're here. You're trying to engage in a conversation, but it would be nice if you wouldn't, lean back and all this. kind of
It's
thing. If
because,
you-
like, think
you
about
know?
what is he trying to say? Like, what I'm saying
of
is,
course.
okay.
You know what?
Let me
Just-
lay it out. Let me lay it out.
just so,
Fine.
like,
Let me.
he's listening to you. Why don't you listen to him? And then you're the moderator. You can kick out
It's
whoever
because
you
he
want. There's
came
no need
into
for
the
all this, right?
conversation. He came into the conversation. I figured he would have been tracking, but I guess I have to start all over. Okay,
Well,
let's
it's
start.
not. He's here, right?
Let's start all over. Let's start all over. Let's start all over.
Yeah. So there's no
Okay.
need for all that stuff.
Okay,
right?
okay. I'm sorry, Clay. Okay, look. What happened in the war, what happened in this scenario, and Clay, you could correct me when I'm wrong. polytheists always, well, not always because I got Muhammad. For a long time, polytheists were in Mecca, right? Muhammad grew up amongst these polytheists, but he was never a polytheist. He always believed in one God, and they rejected him because of his beliefs. So then he went to Medina, and then he came back after the polytheists broke a peace treaty, and then he didn't have to fight them because the polytheists gave up without a fight, right? We all
no,
agree?
sorry, Scary.
Wasn't
No.
it
interject?
Jews? Wasn't the peace treaty involving Jews?
No.
I remember I watched the documentary. It was,
They call
it was
Jews
a peace treaty.
polytheists.
It was
They
a
call
peace
the
treaty between
Jews and the
Islam,
Christian
Christianity,
polytheists. Scary.
and Judaism.
Go ahead.
Can I interject real quick?
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, he did grow up in Mecca. Okay, as you know, of course. They accepted him. He was part of that community, a part of the tribes there. He was a well-respected individual.
Yeah,
They
for a long
only
time.
rejected him when
Once he started his
gave-
message.
Yeah, exactly, like you know. So that's the only thing that you had it right up until then. I
Okay,
think
okay.
You didn't really mention
Yeah.
that, right?
yeah.
And they rejected him once he gave that message. Now, I'll just
Right.
say this one thing, and then you can jump in, or Clay or Chef can jump in.
Okay.
That the prosecution started once certain people started following that message, right? And
Right.
the pagans of Mecca
They didn't like it.
started to, they didn't like it, right?
Mhm.
And they felt, at first they didn't, they were just speaking amongst themselves.
Mhm.
Then they grew to a point where, we need to actually physically do something, right?
Right.
He left to the next city, which is Medina, right?
Right.
Yes, that's correct.
Right. Now,
He migrated to there because
Yeah.
of what? Because of prosecution. Okay.
right. Exactly.
And I would say,
corrupted.
okay, go ahead
He was
from there, right?
corrupted.
Now, and I also want to add one thing here that I'm secular, right? So to me, I understand where the Meccan people were coming from when they don't want another person coming and trying to change their whole system. That's just me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. They
Now-
were pagans, to be honest, though, right?
I don't have a problem with that because
You agree with that?
everybody's considered a pagan to the next religion, right? In a
Yeah,
sense.
okay.
Okay.
He didn't
Anyway.
fight them, though. He didn't try to kill them. or
Yeah,
anything.
no, I'm with you. Anyway, up until now, he was peaceful. He was trying to piece a peaceful message. He was even saying
Yeah.
that I came here to confirm your scriptures and et cetera, right?
All he said is, I have a different belief.
I have a different belief than y'all, boom. But he left because he got persecuted. Then then at some point he made a treaty with them, right? That's where
In
we're
Medina.
at. In
Well,
Medina.
well, before that,
Peace treaty
certain,
was in
certain things
Medina.
happened. Then the treaty happened, right?
The
Say
treaty
that again?
happened in Medina, and then he tried to
There
preach
were
it to
certain
Mecca.
things that happened.
Yeah,
then
some
a treaty
issues.
happened, right?
There were some issues, I'm sure, little
Okay, there, yeah.
skirmishes
Just
here
to be
and there.
fair, just to be fair,
Yeah,
right?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Eventually,
Can I say something? I've been quiet.
Sorry, let
Henry,
Clay go ahead.
Henry, Jesus Christ.
I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to be. I'm very
Oh, hey,
quiet.
what
I'm
was that,
listening. Mohammed have when he started, it was peaceful because he was kind of.
All right,
sharing the
Henry. No,
message and
Henry.
don't start war. That's all.
We
No,
got.
let,
Well, I
let
got
Henry,
you.
let him get it. Let him see what he wants to say. if he wants.
He's trying to.
Go ahead, Henry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not trying. I'm just trying to point that Muhammad was peaceful when he was selling the religion, and
Yeah.
once that he started fighting, the message
Yeah.
changed. So there's two messages, like bipolar, right?
Ah,
we don't
okay,
see.
okay.
We don't.
We can
we
get
don't see
there. We
Jesus.
can-
All right,
We don't see Jesus.
guys. Henry, please, like this. You're like you love doing this to me. Just everybody here is being respectful. You don't have to call them bipolar. Like,
I'm
okay.
I'm respectful. I'm trying. I'm not
Yeah,
trying
that
to
is
offend
not
anybody.
respectful to call somebody bipolar, Henry. Okay. Everybody, okay, we're back. Okay. Muhammad was in Medina at this point. Now he was accepted in Medina, right? They wanted him as I guess a political leader or right, something of that sort, right?
Yeah, and he built his mosque there.
So he built his mosque, and then his following grew, and I guess somehow he ended up with an army. Long story short, right? Okay. Then, but he's still having this peace treaty
Mind
with
you, that army was significantly lower than the Quraysh army.
No problem.
They were, when they went,
300 to
yeah.
1,000, right?
Yeah.
That was the first battle.
Guys, my
I'm just
you
saying,
guys,
though, nah,
lower
scary.
than the
If you're
Quraysh
not
army, and they
historically
still won.
accurate, you have to go start.
it's fine. This 86, my YouTube is Scary Hours podcast on YouTube. Okay, so anyway, they end up with a peace treaty. This is where we're at now, right? They end up with a peace treaty between Muhammad
The
and
Jews, the Christians, the believers
No,
of Christ,
the pagans in
not
Mecca.
and the
Right?
Jews.
This is not the Jews.
No, not the Jews.
Bro, I'm
not
pretty
the
sure
Christians.
it
It's
was a
not
peace
the
treaty
Jews.
between them.
The KY.
Not yet.
This is why you need to be very precise. There's other scenarios where they go out and they have issues with Jews, like
what's
Jewish
this
tribes.
What's this peace treaty you're talking about?
This
I wanna
is
get
this
Right
this
now,
is
we're talking about the early period where he had a treaty with the the people in Mecca.
people
And the
of
people,
Mecca.
the which were pagans,
Mm-hmm.
and they were the ones who were fighting him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I know
they,
that. I know
they
that.
had a
Yeah,
few
yeah.
fights. They had a few fights, and then they made a treaty, right?
Yeah, I know
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
so
So go ahead, Scary.
So KY has this understanding that the peace treaty was broken by the Jews, and I really want to. That is not at all what was happening.
That you know what? I get what he's saying. To be
I know
fair.
what he's
I
saying
understand
too,
what
but
he's
that's a
saying.
different
That's
story.
a separate issue. That's
Yeah,
a
that's
separate
a-
issue.
That came probably like
They aligned. One of the tribes, not all the Jews. One of the tribes of the Jews aligned with
yeah, but
the
they were
Muslims.
believers in Christ back then. You do know that.
Sorry, wow,
All
they
right.
They
aligned
were
with
believers
the
in.
All right,
with
KY,
the
I'm sorry.
Muslims.
KY, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but like
sorry,
I
no,
need
go
to.
ahead, go ahead, KY. Yeah.
I can't explain the whole thing, so like I'm gonna need you
Yeah,
just
I want you to.
just
I
listen
want you to
right
explain
now.
what you. Yeah, go.
Just listen right now,
So-
okay? Just
So
listen.
scary,
There-
you understand what he's saying with the.
I do understand. Yes, I do understand.
Okay,
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 go
fair
ahead.
enough. Then there's
So-
no
so
need for
Lord,
going
yeah.
into it. Yeah,
No,
go
no,
ahead.
but the reason why I'm pointing this out is because the issue with with the Jewish tribes came later. That was after when Muhammad started
Exactly.
going on other conquests, not this one. This is where this is still in the home base. Muhammad technically hasn't gone anywhere yet. Okay,
so again, you would say conquest. I wouldn't use that word, but fair enough. Go ahead.
Sure. Okay. So the peace treaty. The reason why I bring up the peace treaty is because I say, me personally, that Muhammad would have kicked them out eventually anyway, if they
Why
had
so?
not become Muslims, because they were idolaters.
Okay, so what's your
Well,
point?
no.
So idolaters.
Scary. If I can just say,
kick him out.
when it comes to the Jews, are you talking about the Jewish tribes or
No. The
pagans?
Quraysh.
Oh, the Quraysh?
Mm-hmm.
He had a treaty with them.
So what's
Again,
your point?
guys.
He picks up the polytheists, so what?
Again, guys. And this is a minor point. I don't want to get stuck here, but what I'm simply saying is
Yeah.
that the people who he had a treaty with, right?
Yeah.
Had those people not broken the treaty, the simple fact that they are polytheists means they are not allowed at Masjid al-Haram.
Okay. So you're
Well,
saying,
maybe
oh, okay.
some of
I
them
get what
would
you're
have
saying. No,
rejected it and
scary.
then, like,
I get what you're saying
gradually
now.
believed
You get what I
it.
mean?
But again, the thing is, I get. You know what? I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's my fault. I get what you're saying.
Okay.
But here's the thing. We'll never know that now.
Yeah.
We know that polytheists are not allowed at Masjid al-Haram.
So you're taking
point, so
that,
what?
saying that you can't come into any mosque anywhere in the world. You could come in, but why would you go there and pray if you're not a believer?
So what? Why does it matter? Like they
And
don't allow polytheists?
the only reason why I bring it up, I don't have a problem with that rule. That to me
Yeah.
makes sense. If you're a polytheist, what are you
First of
doing
all,
here?
It's not a rule. Anybody can go into any mosque,
Brother,
regardless of whether you believe in Islam or not. You know that, right?
not in Mecca though,
Not in Mecca. No, Mecca you have to be Muslim.
which is Masjid al-Haram, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the one we're talking. So I'm talking about at Masjid al-Haram, the polytheists have to get out, whether there was a
100%, yes.
peace treaty broken or not. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely, but they
Right.
were not. They were not violated. They were not killed. They were not treated any disrespectful way, and you know that.
Yes, because they surrendered.
Of course.
That doesn't mean that they wouldn't have gotten violently treated.
They surrendered, and the Prophet Muhammad said, "Listen, any of you can stay. You keep your houses, keep all your belongings, keep everything. But we're coming into Mecca, whether you like it or not.
and you have to leave.
Yeah, you have to leave the Haram. You can stay. You can live in Mecca, but you have to leave the Haram.
Sure, I don't know, but that was their haram before, right?
It was theirs before. It's not anymore
Okay. So
because they used to use it as a pagan
Can I
worship.
say
Now
something?
it belongs to Islam.
all I'm saying is fine, but there was an aggression there. You get what I'm saying? From a secular point of view. I'm
You know
secular.
what? Fair enough. According to you, I would
Yeah.
disagree respectfully. According
I
to you.
I understand. But let's keep reading.
Yeah, go ahead.
What about when they get conquered? Are we gonna be able to do the same to them?
Henry.
That's the
All right,
question.
Henry. All right, I'm sorry. I gotta drop Henry for now. I gotta drop
I
Henry.
think scary. Here's the thing: they were outnumbered. They were outgunned the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Right?
I know. No. Who? The Quraysh?
Well, the Muslims.
Oh yeah, the Muslims were outnumbered. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the whole time, right?
I don't now
Well,
again, that's the Muslim narrative. We don't know the truth because nobody
well, I
else.
think that's not the Muslim. I think that's based on history. Even non-Muslim historians would say that yes,
There is no
Islam should have never even have gone based on the numbers. Have
sure,
never even
sure.
flourished based on the numbers.
I'm not even gonna
right?
argue with that. That's no
Well,
problem.
again, this is not from Muslim historians. This is
No
based
problem, no
on
problem.
actual historians, right?
No
And
problem, no
if you
problem.
don't know it, fair enough. You can look it up on another time, right?
No, what I'm trying to explain to you is that historians, the only sources they have from Mecca of that time period is Muslim sources. So it's kind of
Not really, right? You have the Byzantines, you have the Persians, you
no,
have
you
the
don't.
Christians.
No,
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you
no,
do. Again,
no.
with respect, I would say you have to look at in the to
With
that time
respect,
period.
I did look it up, and that's why I'm telling you with
Okay.
respect that they have the only time that other people talk about Muhammad or Islam is after he started going on conquest, when he started to touch outside of the Arabian Peninsula or around its borders. But from when they were still inside of Mecca, there is no mention of them. But let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Yeah,
So
okay.
so when the 4 forbidden months are over, wherever you encounter idolaters, kill them, seize them, besiege them, wait for them at every lookout post. But if they turn to God, maintain the prayer, and pay the prescribed alms, let them go on their way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
How peaceful is that?
Yeah.
How
Okay.
peaceful is that?
What's wrong with that?
That's so peaceful.
So again, if we keep this with verse 4, right? This is talking about people who didn't even break the peace treaty.
According to you.
Host, I'm so sorry. Could you make your
Yeah.
overarching theme like so what? They broke the like they don't allow polytheists, they conquest them, there's apartheid. So what is your actual final point?
See, this is why I don't know if Clay could be, because Clay, these guys asked me to give them the context of verse 29. My overarching theme is verse 29, okay? But they asked me if we could go into the context of verse 29. This is why we're here.
I got you, but I'll grant all that to you. Now we're at 29.
But I'm not trying to convince you, because you're just trying to like brush it to the side. I'm trying to talk to them who actually want to understand something or help me
Okay.
understand something.
I got you.
Okay. So tell me if I'm wrong. According to what I'm reading, Muhammad is being told these are the people who have honored the treaty. As for those who have honored the treaty, keep the treaty with them until the time is over, until the end of the agreement. And then he says, and when the unavoidable months have passed, meaning I guess with the end of the agreement, then kill them. So and it says do that, right? Unalive them wherever you find them and capture them and besiege them and sit and wait and ambush them. But if they should repent, establish prayer and give zakat, let them go on their way.
Scary, can I respond?
Real quick. Who
Yeah, go
who gives prayer, repents, and gives zakat? What do you call those people? Muslims,
Yeah.
right?
So
So it's
Scary,
saying
can I
it.
just
So it
respond real
says. So
quick?
wait, real quick. Wait, just let me land it here. So in other words, what he's saying is, unalive them unless they become Muslim. Now, is this not a direct contradiction to no compulsion in religion?
Okay, so
Allah
it
is the
says,
all-knowing, so He knows there's
Scary,
gonna be
if you can do me just
disbelievers that are
one
gonna
quick
die
solid
anyway.
and go back where it says, read that again, where it says, no, the one you just read, where it says, and then when it passed, unalive them and kill them, right? Or unalive them and unalive them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
When the inviolable months have passed, then unalive
Yeah.
the polytheists wherever you find
Okay.
them and capture. Okay.
Thank you. That's all I needed, right?
Uh-huh.
So, what did it say in the beginning? The months have passed, right?
When the specific months have passed, when the 4
Yeah,
forbidden
when the
months.
specific, when the forbidden months have passed, right?
Yep. Which I'm guessing is
Okay.
either the peace treaty or because of the holiday that you guys have. I don't know which one
Okay.
it is, but
So
what's
here's
your
the
point?
thing, right? They were already they already broke the treaty. The Muslims now are it's a command to say, you know what? Don't do anything until those months have passed. Then go ahead, fight them.
So after the peace treaty,
please,
right?
please. After, no, of course, because they already broke it.
Okay. But fight just the ones who broke it, or
Of
all
course.
of them?
You brother, come on, Scary, come on. You're smarter than this. You know what you're talking about. Don't be one of those guys, right?
No, but because when I'm reading, he didn't even mention those who broke it. He says those who kept
it's
it.
It's in context. We're not gonna mention every single thing, brother. You know that. Come on. We're not gonna say
so even though he says those who have honored the treaty, you want me to think that he's talking about somebody else.
No. Exactly. If you know what happened at that time, you know who those are, right? Which is being spoken about.
Maybe he speaks about them before.
That,
maybe he speaks about this
5
before.
houses down, and this
Hold on, let's go to verse 3.
Should
we go to verse 3? Maybe verse 3 talks about the ones who broke it.
Keep going to every verse to make it help you.
Khalid, but we can't because what you're saying is just disregard what it's saying. That's kind of that.
You know what? To be fair, Scary, 100%. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay,
right?
Can we read?
I think you're accusing me of what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to keep finding verses to agree with your narrative, right?
I'm just going in order.
Yeah, go ahead. And again, the order still talks about a certain situation where it talks about those individuals, right? When certain a time has passed, then yes.
Let me say what I'm saying and what I'm understanding so far.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure that because right now we read verse 4, we started there, but I'm pretty sure if we go to verse 3 or 2 or 1, it does probably specifically talk about those who broke the treaty. No, I'm assuming. I haven't read those yet.
Yeah, and the last one, you're saying that it's just fair game for anybody.
Khalid, okay, because you're saying that in verse 4 where he says those who honored the treaty, you're saying that means even those who didn't honor the treaty. That's what your argument is. I'm saying that in verse 3 or 2 or 1, there's probably a separate mention of those who broke it. That's what I'm saying.
No, okay. I think that the whole problem here is, thank you for having me up, right? Is that the whole entire surah is based on what happened before these verses were revealed, right? There was a huge battle for Mecca.
How do you say your name? Phobophobia?
Yeah.
Phobophobia. Okay. We're just reading the verse and specifically what Allah is telling Muhammad. Okay. He is very detailed. We don't have to lump it all together because if that was the case, Muhammad or Allah wouldn't have been detailed. He's specifically saying what happened, who did it, who broke it, who didn't break it, and he's being very specific about each one. So for us to just lump it would be doing a disservice to the message.
Yeah, I don't think I was trying to lump anything. I was just stating how basically the whole entire chapter, right?
Then that's called a lump, brother. When you say the whole entire chapter, that's you're lumping it.
I'm not lumping anything. We could go verse for verse, but you don't read one verse and take it out of context.
We're not. We're literally phobia. We started at 28. We started at verse 28 and we're at verse 4. Does that sound like we're not looking at context?
So you started from verse 1? I might have missed that. I mean,
we started from verse 28, right? And they said we need context, so we went all the way back to verse 4 so far. And I actually want to go to verse 1.
What chapter is it again?
Yeah, why don't you just read 1 through 4 and see if
we're gonna matter of fact, let's read chapter 1 through 28. How about that? Whatever you want. I'm seriously believing is that I promise, as far as I feel, I can't say I promise, but I feel like if we read more, it's just gonna make it look worse. That's how I feel. But
okay, so let's just start from 1. Go to 1 through 4 or 1 through 28, buddy.
Okay, let's go to 1.
Oh, man.
Everybody else okay with that? Okay, everybody sounds like there's okay. Okay. This is a declaration of disassociation from Allah and His Messenger to those with whom you had made a treaty among the polytheists. Okay, so it sounds like Muhammad is the one trying to break the peace treaty here. That's what it looks like. Okay.
No, so that. Okay, can I explain that? Because that's the first verse, bro.
Sure.
Okay?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So this is for the people who he made a peace treaty with, and they broke it. So this is what was revealed to him with that first verse and how to handle it.
So now Allah is saying basically, hey, we're now disassociating ourselves from the peace treaty because y'all broke it. That's what he's saying, right?
Exactly.
Okay, let's keep reading then. You idolaters may move freely about the land for 4 months. You see? So this is what I said earlier. Where is that? What was it? Who was I talking to earlier?
Oh, you were right when you said that part. Yeah.
Yeah.
That they had time to. They had time after. Yeah.
So they were gonna get kicked out eventually anyway. So you have 4 months of staying in the land, but you should bear in mind that both you will not escape God, and God will disgrace those who defy Him. Okay. And it is an announcement
yeah.
from Allah that His messenger to the people on the day of greater pilgrimage that Allah is disassociated from disbelievers, and so is His messenger. So if you repent, that is best for you. But if you turn away, then know that you will not cause failure to Allah, and give tidings to those who disbelieve of a painful punishment.
Okay, so
Then-
again, Scary, I have to ask you, where is this some sort of like carte blanche, just like anybody you see that doesn't believe is just
we didn't
like
get
fair
there.
game?
We didn't get there yet.
Oh, okay, let's get there. Let's get there then.
So far we see that he already addressed those who broke the treaty, right?
Yeah.
And then now he's going to talk
He's
about.
the all-knowing, brother.
I get that. I'm with that. Now he's going to talk
All
about
knowing.
those.
He knows what's going to happen.
I get you, brother.
He
Now
knows
he's
there was going to be idolaters. He knows that.
Let's not interrupt him. Let him actually read the surah and try to understand it, bro. I don't know why you guys are interrupting. Khalas.
Now he's going to talk about those who didn't break the treaty. He says, "As for those who have honored the treaty, you have made with them, and who have not supported anyone against you, fulfill your agreement with them to the end of their term. God loves those who are mindful of Him."
Again, Scary, do I have? Is this something you would disagree with?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Let's keep going.
So far he said, "You who broke the treaty, y'all got 4 months to walk around. After that, it's a wrap for y'all." Basically, what he said, right? Then he says, "As
After
for you."
that, yeah.
Yeah. Then he says, "As for you who have not broken the treaty," he says, "We're going to fulfill our agreement with you until the end of the term," which I'm guessing is still the same 4 months.
So is that wrong? Is that like what kind of
No,
injustice do you
it's
see
not
there?
the 4 months. I don't think it's
not?
the 4 months. I'm sorry.
Or like
No, I
end
don't
of
believe
times,
so.
like end of like your life.
different term?
The actual peace treaty.
Yeah,
The
different
terms of the
term,
peace
different
treaty. The terms of the peace treaty.
Again,
already
Scary.
exist,
I don't
bro.
understand.
I'm still not saying there's a problem. I'm just making sure.
According to Muslims, according to the Quran, everything is being upheld, and it's saying, look, if you guys want to do this, we're ready. If not, we're gonna uphold the treaty, right? Or correct me if I'm wrong. Are you reading something else? or what?
We're gonna uphold the treaty until the end of the treaty.
Okay, so what's wrong with it? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing. Yo, I think the host is being pretty genuine, Yahi. Like, I don't think he's being.
Yeah, I'm not even saying that.
about it. He's trying to understand, Yani. At this point, he's just trying to understand.
So then verse 5, then when the unavoidable months have passed, which I'm guessing that means when the end of the treaty, right? Then unalive polytheists wherever you find them.
Okay, now you have to make a decision where it says-
Wait.
wait. So the
the
ones who honored the treaty, were they also polytheists?
Yeah, but they were the inviolable months is specifically talking about the 4 month period and not what the verse said before about the people who upheld the peace treaty. Right? The inviolable months is specifically about the people who Allah just commanded to give 4 months to.
Okay.
Not to them. Yeah.
Okay. I don't have no so I'm that could make sense. I don't necessarily so far that's not really convincing me, but I could see how that could be a possibility. So what you're saying is that there would have been 2 terms that were given, 2 time terms. One was 4 months that was for the people who broke the treaty. And the inviolable months would have been how long for those who didn't break the treaty?
No, yeah. So the inviolable months was the 4 months for the people who did break the treaty, right?
Okay.
And there is no time frame for the others. The others were basically said in the verse before. The others who upheld the peace treaty are going to be given that time period of the peace treaty. So in the peace treaty, they're allowed to basically live within Mecca. They're as long as they're upholding it.
Okay, but they were also polytheists, even though they didn't break the peace treaty.
Yeah, 100%.
So just to make sure, you're saying polytheists would have been able to remain. They would have been able to remain around El Masjid Al Haram.
At that time, right after the war, yes.
What about now?
No, now it's different.
Why?
Because you could say for multiple reasons, like many people ended up reverting or converting to Islam at some point, or migrating where they felt like it wasn't the mass presence of Muslims.
Kerry, are you okay with the verses before, or now you're talking about the Haram now?
Well, because the thing that I'm trying to, so this is what I'm reading is this. Masjid al-Haram is the most holy place in Islam.
Yeah.
It would be blasphemy for me to imagine that polytheists could be around it, regardless of if they were broken a peace treaty or not.
It was more about Mecca being ruled by Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the Muslims.
Okay, so the fact, so you're just okay. So the fact that polytheists are not allowed around it right now is a coincidence.
No, not a coincidence.
No, it's not a coincidence. But even
they were given their rights when
after this
happened.
battle took place, there's actually like plenty of hadith of the events that were taking place within Mecca after that for years, right? And how like this all played out, even right. I could try to go research more like another time and show you, which because I don't remember off the top of my head what to look up.
Yeah, but
there's
brother,
so many events that happened where the polytheists.
If I was to ask you though, why are, just generally speaking, right? Forget this situation. Just in general, why are polytheists not allowed to be around the Masjid al-Haram?
Right now,
why would they want to be there?
Regardless of why they would want to be there, I want to go there sometimes. I'm not allowed to go there, even though.
Hey, why would you want to be there?
Why not? It looks cool. It looks cool to me.
Why would you want to be there? No, we'll kick you out of there. No, leave. No,
you see what I'm saying? Okay,
it's a place for people to pray. Right?
Perfect.
If you don't believe in it, why would
perfect? That's what I'm trying to say. Perfect.
No,
Kali, you're making my point.
No. You're here for mischief. Why would you want to be somewhere where it doesn't concern you? You hear?
Why can't you guys just admit? Why can't you just admit? Why can't you just admit? Why can't you guys just admit? Why can't you guys just admit that the Masjid al-Haram is the most holy place for you guys, and that of course it's no reason why we should be having this argument that polytheists should not be there, regardless if they broke a peace treaty or not.
Yeah, I think the point to answer why, because you asked why, like specifically why, right? I think the answer is Rahma and Toba. Toba is that like the name of the entire surah, right? It just means repentance, and it's showing great mercy. Like these people were actually really vile towards the Muslims at that time, and for it to play out that way just shows how civilized they were.
But the thing, Phobo, I get that. I get that part of the narrative. That is one side of the coin. That's one side of the story. What I'm trying to do is now trying to show more aspects of the same story. Yes, in this specific scenario, the way that events turned out, they broke a peace treaty, so they got kicked out. I totally get that. I'm saying that, however, based on the principles of Islam and based on the words of Allah, where he says himself, the polytheists are unclean. That's why they should not approach a Masjid al-Haram. So they were unclean. So they were unclean before they broke the peace treaty.
Okay, I think you should read the whole entirety of the surah, because I don't think it permits them to go to Masjid al-Haram, to actually go back to the Kaaba. It doesn't allow them to do that. But
they're not. That's my point. Is they're not allowed to.
There's a difference. There's a difference.
If they accept Islam.
No, scary. Come on, bro. You're reaching scary. Come on. You've been very respectful. Come on, bro. You're reaching.
If you wanted to go to Masjid al-Haram, would you want to go with good intention, or what intention would you?
Bro,
want to go?
you guys have to explain to him at what point all of this changed.
No, guys. The only thing we're talking about now is Muhammad would have had to kick out the polytheists regardless. Because they're unclean.
No, but what do you mean? That's not what Allah commanded.
They're polytheists, dude. They are polytheists.
Regardless, it would have happened, right? And
yes.
This is something that you can't prove, right? You're saying, well, you know what? Even though this happened, and yeah, I agree with
okay,
that.
can we agree on one thing? Can we agree on one thing? The
now
polytheists.
You're saying, well,
no.
If that didn't happen, they still would have been kicked out.
Because we can prove this. We can prove this. We can prove this. We can prove this. Did the polytheists used to have their idols inside of the Kaaba?
They did, yeah.
Okay, and that's the only reason they would go there, right?
No, they lived around it.
That was their houses. That was their place of worship as well.
That's not the only reason.
Why are you laughing? Is that not true? Do you not know history?
Okay, but if Muhammad gets rid of their idols inside of the Kaaba, why would they go there?
Wait, can
All
I
right.
just like state the obvious here? Because like host, right? If Islam and the Prophet peace be upon him are claiming to be sent of God, the messenger of God, right? Why would they let polytheists,
They
in Mecca,
wouldn't.
right?
That's my point. Is
Exactly.
they wouldn't
Okay,
even.
so
But that means
I know that's exactly.
regardless of a peace treaty, though, right?
Okay, wait, exactly. But my point is that Islam didn't, command them to be violent about it.
And
That's what I was trying to point out, is that it was civilized.
the
And
verse literally says, "Unalive them wherever you find them." And
is that what took
wait,
place? Is that what took place right after the war? That's not what
Because
took
that's
they
not
were
place.
what you asked
unloving.
me. You asked me if Islam doesn't instruct them. Yes, it did
No,
instruct them.
I said violently. What do you mean?
It does
Like
say
I said,
violent. It literally says violent. How do you unalive somebody non-violently?
how
Scary.
how
We
are you
already
giving
went
somebody
through
4 months
this.
to leave before you
Are you
quote
gonna go
unquote
back
unalive
now?
them?
Oh
What do you
my
mean?
god.
You're giving
You
them
agreed to
a
this
chance
thing.
to actually
Guys,
survive. The
okay,
same
okay.
people who broke the peace
Look,
treaty started the war.
can we look? Let's just forget this part because we're never gonna get out of here. Let's just move back to where we were going before, where I said that jizya was put in place to take money from people.
But
No.
first, you have to agree on the
It's,
last point of Mecca and everything.
What
hold
point?
on.
Again, no, there wasn't. What you're trying to say is that like you can go there. The non-believers. Either way, we're gonna get carte blanche. You know what I mean? Like, unalived. Either way, you have to admit that was. You don't know. First of all, you can't say what was gonna happen or not gonna happen if it didn't
Brother, look,
happen,
let's
right?
do this. Let's do this. You say that polytheists would be allowed to be in Masjid al-Haram. I don't. Can we agree on that?
No,
I
I
never said
agree
that
with
they're allowed
you.
to be
Wait, you're
Masjid
saying
Haram.
would be? You're saying would be as
Scary,
if the past, but
scary.
the past
You
is already
said
facts, bro.
the
The
only thing that
past is
you're
facts,
holding
bro.
on
The
to
history
is
is
that you're.
true.
Oh
Sorry, go ahead,
God, you
dude.
guys are unbelievable.
The only way you can
Go
have
ahead.
this argument is if you really believe polytheists could be at Masjid Haram. I say they can't.
No, I
You say
don't
they
think
I,
could?
anybody
I, I agree
believes
A
that
with
they
you. I
simple
can.
agree
Google
with
search
you.
would tell you.
Huh?
I don't think they believe that they can. I think something changed along the way, and we have to understand what that is. Trying to defend what had happened before defeats the purpose. At the time, there was some things happening here historically where
Yeah, they were
there
idol
was a peace
worshipping.
treaty that was broken. Yes, but eventually, Quraysh and group with the Prophet ﷺ, were two separate entities. So obviously, the more powerful group, which is the Muslims, they were going to dictate the law of the land, which they're doing till today. Does that
Regardless
make
if
any
they're
sense?
Hey,
regardless if there's a
host,
peace treaty broken. That's my point.
this whole context in a nutshell,
Scary. Just
It
say
was
it.
broken.
He doesn't
Exactly.
agree
this
with
whole
your
context
narrative,
in a
and just move
nutshell, we're
on,
pretty
brother.
much,
But you know,
hey,
for
listen,
every
this whole
all of
context in
us,
a
if we're
nutshell is
all
pretty much saying the Quraysh were idol worshippers. They were pretty much Satanists. And then you got Muhammad sending his message, which is the word of God. So it's pretty much the whole context is you're going to choose God or you're going to choose Satan. That's it. That's the
Kai,
whole context in this whole thing. So
the
pretty much
reason,
the Satan will kill like Muhammad's.
the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm sick and tired of hearing about this peace treaty. I don't
Brother,
want to
you're the one
hear
that brought up the peace treaty, and
no
you agreed
because
with the whole
because
time.
Gotta
look
put
because
this
no
whole
because
topic into
the point
context.
again to try to Kai, but to bring it all together again. Verse
Got it,
29 says, "Fight the Christians and the Jews who
Yeah.
weren't even there." And then every time I bring that up, you guys say, "Oh, it's because there was a time of war and the Quraysh broke a peace treaty." I
So
don't
you have
care
to fight.
about
You have to
that.
fight. You have to
The
fight your
Jews went
enemy,
where?
even if they're not at your doorstep, or no?
What doorstep?
huh?
You
Huh?
saying fight them? What? And what do you mean they weren't even there? Like, what are you talking about? There where?
Yeah, so everything we just read so far, does it have to do with the Christians and the Jews?
No, get there. Just read the whole thing, bro. You should read the
Bro,
whole thing
answer
on
the
your own.
My
question.
God, brother.
Anything that we
Scary,
just
we went
read.
through
No,
this.
it's
How many times we're
specifically
gonna go
about the
through it, brother?
polytheists.
It's specifically about the polytheists, the Qurayshi, right? The
Oh my
Arab
God, we're gonna go through it again
polytheists,
now. Okay,
right?
let's go.
So why does it
Only
all of a sudden in verse 29 say fight the Christians and the Jews?
Can I
Because
say
if you read
something,
it in
please?
context, you'll understand, bro. Just read the whole thing. Let's go. Let's go through the
Guys,
whole
but
chapter, bro.
can I say something, brother?
Mm-hmm.
Please. You know what's funny is that the host does not realize what's actually going on, like throughout history. Let me explain, right? You know, brother, the only way something has been spread across the world has been through either violence or violence. Let me explain, right? So if you go back, right, let's go to David, right? I don't know if you even acknowledge him, but he was also a man of God, right? And how did he spread his kingdom or the word of God according to him? He did the same way every single person who was in power and trying to spread his authority did, right? And the same thing happens when you see in the past with the Crusaders and other religions, right? The only way they took a land and gave them the teachings or their perspective is by doing war. Number one. Now, the funny thing about Islam, brother, is that even though it establishes to go against and conquer places, it does still give them the chance to live and also have their own religion if they are willing to pay the jizya. Now the funny thing is that you think that Islam has gone around and killed all the religions and everybody is dead. Only Islam is alive when they conquer our land. Now the funny thing is that you have to understand, brother, that is the moral basics of the establishment of a lot of nations and continents that you see today. However, if you fail to understand that part, brother, then nobody can help you. You can go ahead and say, "Oh no, killing, everybody is killing everybody."
Oh
So
man, okay, that was a lot. Yeah, that was a lot. So I mean, I just want to add on to that, bro. I don't think that Islam prescribed anything similar to what other nations do, modern nations or back then. So I don't want to compare it. Don't compare it. I get his point though overall.
Yeah, so my point is Muhammad did have an issue with a certain tribe in his hometown, and
Pretty
he
much
was
his own
told,
family, bro. Like
yeah,
His own tribe.
yeah,
Quraysh. It
and
was
he
his
was
own
told,
family and his
yeah,
own uncle actually. He
totally.
had one uncle.
Honestly,
He had
that's
one
not
uncle that didn't.
exactly. So me,
Yeah.
honestly, that has nothing to do with me. But however, for no reason, in verse 28, he turns his attention to the Christians and the Jews, and he has to go fight them after he kicked those people out.
Yeah,
No,
because
it's
there was
not. It's
another.
out of
So,
context, bro.
so
There was another
now,
peace treaty.
no, there
There was another
wasn't.
peace treaty.
No, there
Yes,
wasn't. No, there wasn't. Let's read it. Let's read it. In these verses, he talks about the peace treaty. They broke the peace treaty. Problems with the peace treaty. Whatever. No problem. Cool. Verse 28 is the last part of the peace treaty where he basically says the final ruling. He says, y'all have to get out. And then this is the part I want you to notice. What do the Arabs say, or what do the Muslims say when the polytheists have to get out? Okay? So it says here, "Oh, you who have believed, indeed the polytheists broke the peace treaty." No, he says polytheists are unclean, so let them not approach a Masjid al-Haram after this final year. And then what is the very next word? "And if you fear becoming poor." What does kicking out polytheists from Mecca have to do with becoming poor? Who wants to answer?
They ran the businesses. They ran the businesses and
no.
owned a lot.
Those
Yeah,
those
they had a
individuals
lot
were the ones that
of
took everything from them. So now it's time to retaliate.
No problem.
To answer your question,
No problem. What I'm saying is the polytheists are unclean, so they're getting kicked out, right? I don't have no problem with that. All I'm simply asking is, why does that equal the Muslims now fearing privation,
It's
according to what it says?
because that's what the polytheists and the pagan worshippers were like. They owned all the trade, bro. They were in charge of all the
Correct.
trade, bro.
Because Masjid al-Haram was a marketplace,
yes,
right?
pretty much.
So now the economy is destroyed.
The economy is like pretty much relying off trade
Trade.
instead of worship.
Correct. And it was destroyed. The whole economy was destroyed, right? So it would be natural for them to fear poverty in this scenario. Like, God is basically telling you the whole marketplace is about to get destroyed, and the Muslims are like, wait, whoa, we're about to be poor, right?
The Muslims.
Yeah.
You can't
It's
just
not
say
that,
them, bro. It's everyone that was there. Like, what do you mean just Muslims?
Well, what's the point though, host? Like,
Only the
point?
Muslims
It's not
were
saying
there.
that Muslims are going to be poor.
Who else was there besides the Muslims?
It's saying the opposite. It's saying the opposite, that they won't be poor. To just have faith in Allah, basically, and that whatever's going to happen with the trade or the market or whatever.
my brother in humanity. It literally says, "If you fear privation."
Allah will enrich you from His bounty.
Yes. Why would they
Yeah.
be fearing privation in the context of this verse?
Because they don't even know if there's like, bro, there's no like, the Quran was just, oh, you don't understand.
They didn't know what was gonna
KY,
happen
look,
next.
you guys
understand.
all said it very simply, clearly you understood it until Phobia said what he said. It's very obvious. Kaaba, that whole area was a marketplace. They were merchants, all of them. So when you kick all them out, obviously you're gonna lose your money.
Yeah, just like
It's
how
not
no one likes
hard.
changing, no one,
Yeah, okay, but that
just
would be
like
why
how
they
no one
were.
likes changing life, bro.
Huh?
Like,
What's the point, though? What's the point?
Perfect. My point is, the Muslims were fearing becoming poor, right? This is the final part of this verse. So everybody's
It's not all Muslims. It's not all Muslims. It says, and if you fear, so it's talking about certain people who would potentially be in fear. But yeah, it's not saying all Muslims, no.
when I say all Muslims, I meant all the Muslims who were there at that time when this verse was being revealed.
Yeah, but it's not saying that they are afraid. It's saying if one of you are afraid or if you fear, not saying that they are.
Okay. All right. Let's go to
we was
the
talking about polytheists like a sentence before, so it's probably
let's go to the Tafsir. Let's go to the Tafsir.
because there were more polytheists than Muslims back then.
Let's go to Tafsir real quick. Okay, let's go to Tafsir. Let's see what the Muslims were saying. So he says, sacred Hamas, idolaters, the pure, becoming... Okay, here. So, okay. Allah will enrich you out of His bounty. You see, you're following with me, right, guys? Allah will enrich you out of His bounty. Muhammad bin Ishaq commented, the people said, our markets will be closed and our commerce disrupted, and what we earned will vanish. So now, again, did the people think that or not?
Yeah, okay. Specifically, some people, yes. You can't say all the people thought that. You can't say that.
Okay, brother. The little kid who was there, maybe he didn't think that. But everyone else who knew what was going on,
Scary. I think you're being disingenuous.
No, it's because he's trying like
wrong, right?
Everybody
he's
who
going off what the
no,
verse
if you're a rational adult male, I would have thought that. You would have thought that. Everybody here, if you're kicking out everybody from the market, the first thing you're gonna think is, damn, the market's about to be closed.
And the verse.
What
says
is hard
for
about
those,
that?
You know. Yeah.
Nothing,
Okay.
host.
And the verse addresses that. Is that a problem?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nobody's saying
I've never, bro, you guys keep asking me what's the problem. I have not presented the problem
because
yet.
you're sighing and you're grabbing.
No,
your
the
head
problem
and
is
saying that there's a problem,
phobophobia is trying to take me off course by telling me it wasn't all of them. What different? Like, who
I
cares,
agree with
bro?
that. I would say the same thing.
The majority.
You have to read what the verse says, right?
Okay, bro. The
Okay,
majority.
Go ahead. I'll stop. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. All right. You know what?
Okay.
Okay, because you're gonna say I'm doing too much, right? But
It's fine. It's
agree
fine.
with
It's
him.
fine. Okay, we're fine.
Okay,
We're
go
here.
ahead,
We're here.
right?
Okay.
All right. We're here.
So
Okay.
our markets will be closed. Our commerce disrupted, and what we earn will vanish. Then he says, so Allah revealed this verse. And if you fear poverty, Allah will enrich you. So stop stressing, because Allah is going to take care of it.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. And feel themselves subdued. Then he said, this ayah means this will be your compensation for the closed markets that you feared would result. Therefore, Allah compensated them for the losses they incurred because they severed ties with idolaters by jizya they earned from the people of the book.
That's right. So if they feared Him and then they turned to Him,
So that
they
means
believed
all
Him.
of the income of the whole income, the economy of Mecca would get compensated by the jizya from the people from the book.
Yeah, so can I explain now? No, he just read it. Wait, listen, bro. Wait, listen. Okay, host, it's obviously, this in the tafsir is explaining what happened after the fact, okay? That's what happened after the fact, and it showed that a society could exist, right, where the Muslims coexisted with the others, and there was a jizya in place,
Yeah. This is when it says go fight the people of the book, that's about them coexisting. Yeah,
Bro, it's
absolutely.
like if I don't pay my taxes,
Alhamdulillah, brother. Alhamdulillah, brother. Alhamdulillah, brother. That is so beautiful. Yeah, please tell me more. again, now
Christianity
that
every
we got
single time.
now that we got that out the way, can we go back to reality? Okay. According to what this scholar is saying, he literally says, this ayah means this will be your compensation for the closed markets. What is their compensation for the closed markets?
Jizya.
Jizya.
Could be anything.
Could be anything.
Oh my God.
And how do you do it?
Could be anything, and the people of the book, you know, they're the Christians and the Jews, right?
Huh? Yes, it's the
The
Christians and
people
the
of the
Jews.
book,
Yes, that's
Right.
my point. Who had
They're
nothing
talking
to
about-
do with the markets getting closed.
Right.
Right.
No, jizya is the equivalent of the
Yeah, I know. Tell me how beautiful it is to get conquered, and yeah, no problem.
no, hold on.
My point is
hold on.
that the
Hold on.
reason why Muhammad was instructed to go fight Christians and Jews was because they lost money when they kicked out the polytheists from Mecca.
So, Scary, can I ask you, this is why you're not a Muslim? Because you don't want to pay tax?
No, this is not why I'm not. This has nothing to do with why I'm not a Muslim, guys.
Oh, tax is your problem, right? You
No,
pay
no,
tax
no.
but,
Getting
this tax is
conquered.
the
No,
problem.
getting conquered is the problem.
Getting conquered in what sense? You got conquered?
In any sense.
Why?
Because this verse is saying, "Go conquer people and take their money."
No.
And then you're gonna try, and then
What?
you're gonna
Jizya
try to
is for
explain to me
protection, bro.
how that's actually beautiful. You're gonna say, "Well, actually, it's beautiful when you get conquered because blah blah blah." blah.
Can I get a chance to respond? Let me know when I can get a chance.
You're capping. You're capping right now.
Please tell me where I'm capping.
You're capping heavily right now.
Let me
check
get a
this.
chance to respond.
You know what the Muslims do?
Go ahead.
Instead
Go
of
ahead,
jizya,
brother.
instead of jizya, you know what the Muslims
Brother,
do?
I
They
don't
give-
care. This is the part where
They
I
give
don't care.
almsgiving.
Don't
No,
care.
but they're not taking
Don't
money.
care. Too bad, so sad. That has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
Huh?
The verse
But
said Muslims messed up by kicking their own people out of their own town, and so they made up for it by going to fight Christians and Jews. Anything outside of that, don't care. Not my problem.
You're gonna have to
Can I
go
respond?
back and say
You
where it
just
says Muslims messed up by kicking their own people out of the verse.
Bro.
It never said that in the verse.
Yeah.
Okay?
And
Don't
you
reach.
also-
Please don't reach. I know you want it to be that way, but please, brother, don't reach.
I'm secular, so you're not gonna tell me that it was a beautiful thing because of the polytheists. I don't care. That I'm not a religious person. So to me, it looks like the Muslims messed up.
No, you know what's almsgiving?
That's given to poor people. That has nothing to do with this verse.
And they get and it gets
Scary.
collected, brother.
Nothing to do again.
It gets
Again,
collected.
nothing to do with this verse.
I'll catch you next time, okay, brother?
It runs the
Thank
city,
you, bro.
brother.
God bless you.
Yeah, take it easy, bro.
You too.
And it runs the city, brother.
No, it
And
doesn't.
jizya runs the city, brother.
Jizya
Yeah, what
runs
you talking about?
no. Jizya runs the city. Alms goes to the poor.
Right? Isn't that a system right there?
Sure.
Don't you pay? Yeah.
That's called. You know what that's called?
That's a full cycle. That's what it is.
Yeah. Look, let me put my picture back up in the beginning that I had.
That's your tax
You know what that's
system right
called?
there,
You know what
brother.
that's called? That's called apartheid.
No, but what the heck, man? It's called paying for protection. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's called apartheid, buddy.
No,
All right?
brother.
So now we know that Muslims. Everybody heard it. What a beautiful system, guys. If you're under Muslim rule, that means you're going to be under apartheid, where you have to pay a special non-believer tax for not believing what they believe in. Wow.
Otherwise, you have to give to
So
the poor.
beautiful, brother. So beautiful.
Otherwise, you have to give to the
Amazing.
poor. What you
Who
talking
wants
about?
to sign up for that one,
Bro.
guys?
So how does that system work in any other economy?
God
Even
bless
in
you
this
guys.
economy. Serious.
Anything else anybody wants to add? Because I'm not about to get into how beautiful it is to get conquered right now.
Nobody's talking
No
about how
thanks.
beautiful it is, but you
No
gotta come up
thanks.
with a system.
No thanks,
That's
guys.
a tax system, my
no,
brother.
No thanks. No
You
thanks.
paying
So,
pension, you paying taxes for what?
so all Muslims.
what it is.
So all Muslims support getting conquered.
system.
All Muslims
Tax
support
system, brother.
taxing other people to support their tax system.
And they,
I love it.
And they
Beautiful.
have to, and they tax their Muslims also.
Which is why when you look throughout history is exactly what happened. They went through from
that's why
country
you
to
have a full
country.
circle.
They went from country to country, conquering, colonializing. Everything they're crying about right now is what they used to do.
What you talking? No.
Apartheid.
Go
Apartheid. Apartheiding.
Go come to your minister
They were
about pension.
they were the
Tax
main
pension.
apartheidings. and
Bro,
poor Christians and Jews who didn't have nothing to do with that whole scenario. They weren't even there to
No, they weren't protected by the Muslims, right?
Poor Christians and Jews, bro. Poor
Christians
and
weren't
Jews.
under the kingdom of the Muslims,
can
right?
we offer
Yeah,
them
cool.
something?
Poor Christians and Jews.
Yeah,
Can we
exactly.
offer something?
They got
All right.
something out of it.
All right, guys,
Can
I'm
we
gonna wrap
offer
it.
something?
I'm gonna wrap it here, guys. I gotta go to work.
wrap your head too one time.
Wrap my head, all that. But you know, honestly, I'm gonna be on like whatever. I know it is what it is, but you guys, at least we had a productive conversation, and I do give you your props for that. So thank you for that part at least. Okay.
You're against tax system. Cool. Yalla, bye.
Yeah, yalla. All right. so
It's called extortion. You don't want to call it like that. It's extortion.
yeah. You gotta love it though.
And
You
let's
gotta
give
love
them
it.
that.
No,
we're just gonna
I
have
gotta
to
wrap
give
it.
them whatever they're pushing.
I
Okay,
gotta
bye.
wrap. I'm about to wrap it here, but Henry, thank you as always. Everybody, Muslims, Christians, Jews, everybody, thank you guys. If you're not following, please give me a follow. Also, follow me on YouTube, where I repost all these. Happy everything to everybody. Scary Hours podcast on YouTube. Okay, guys, thank you.